NFL, San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys play their second preseason game tomorrow as they head to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. In the Little League World Series, Bernie, the team from Southwest, crushed the Mid-Atlantic squad while riding an 18-game win streak coming into the game. They shut them down 9-0. Caden Guffey, Doc Mogford, and Cole Newsom all hit home runs. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into our little show. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, joined by my friend, my pal, Robert Thompson. Hello, Rob.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, man?
I'm good. It's Friday morning.
Happy Friday. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
I'm well fed.
Yeah, got little bennies in us early.
Benny and the Jets.
Little bennies. As someone who's now tried probably, 9 or 10 breakfast taco places in San Antonio, Benny's is the best one I found. And that's only comping carne asada.
There's some other places I want you to try.
I got to try more. Listen,
there's a lot of fish in the sea. But I'll tell you what, this side of the world, this little part of San Antonio, hard to top old Benny.
But I'll tell you what, that place in New Braunfels is still top dog for me.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to beat them here.
Tommy's. We're going to have to try Tommy's.
Tommy's is the name of the car wash that I go to.
Tommy's everywhere. And he can wash your car and make you a fine carne asada.
That would be impressive.
Tommy's does some good barbacoa too.
Okay, all right.
They got a couple spots around town, so that'd be one we're gonna try at some point. That when we're on closer to them.
Well, yesterday I went to El Guacamole.
Yeah, I missed that. Good food. What part of Blanco is El Guacamole?
North of me.
Oh, outside.
Yeah.
Fancy new digs out there in the Stonokian area.
Yeah.
I thought it was further inside. All right, so you're out there. Blitz is cooking. What's cooking in the kitchen?
I had an enchilada trio.
All right.
Where if I could go back and do it again, I would only get, they were all good, but the chicken mole enchilada
So you're a mole guy.
Astounding.
Well, you know what? Since the beer you drink, I'm not surprised you're like a good mole. That's an acquired taste.
Well, I've acquired it, friend.
Have you had mole in the past?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Rob.
But you have even locals.
I'm a well-traveled gentleman of style and taste.
When you say mole, they go, "Oh, who wants that?" It's like eating dirt. But they haven't had good mole.
Well, it's like eating chocolate when it's good,
right? Well, not chocolate in the way a lot of people expect.
Well, this one was
it's
damn
delicious.
Chocolate.
It is, but when you tell people chocolate, they have a thing in mind, and it ain't that.
No. But it was very,
delicious.
Very delightful.
Good. I'm glad that they do it. It's one of those separators. Like when you go into a restaurant, like if you do this well, I expect you can do a lot of stuff well.
And most importantly, Rob, free margaritas yesterday.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Now I said, "Wow, I said, I told our waitress, I said, I heard tell that you've got free margaritas, and she said, "Oh yes."
So frozen?
No, I went rocks.
So they went. So it's like it wasn't like a.
You could get frozen or rocks,
and that's what the free one was.
No,
you could go ask for
and it was
shaken.
It was a good size.
Dude, I missed
bowl.
That. So
yeah,
along with the food, El Guacamole took care of everybody.
Yeah, and then my buddy Matt that I went with, he didn't want his margarita. He's kind of he's soft when it comes to booze. He can have like a little bit of a beer, and he's like, "Oh, I'm drunk."
I like those guys. They drive me home.
And then he doesn't eat, he doesn't drink. He's like Vic, kind of like I don't know if he's worried about his A1C or what, but it was one per person on the free margaritas, and the gal was like, You know what? I'll bring him a margarita anyway, and you can have his.
Oh,
I think she was
see.
sweet on me, is what it was.
No, she was working for a tip, but it all.
Well,
I mean, if you take it for that, that's nice.
You have your world, I've got mine.
No, I'm
Your
sure she
truth-
found you fetching. I do, but but there's also a tip involved.
My truth is also the truth.
It's
Wherever,
not a lie. if you
wherever they
believe it.
may cross paths, my truth is the truth.
And by the way, there's no sex in the champagne room.
None. No, and they're actually, honestly, El Guacamole. I don't believe there was.
They don't have a champagne room?
No.
Well, we were a place.
I was looking around. I was peeking my head around corners. But
we didn't talk about this since we're talking about restaurants at Don Raul.
Oh yes,
the day before. Could you get a 16-ounce tequila?
It's funny.
Was that right?
I would like.
It was like $20.
Yeah. So here was my take on that. When I first saw it, I assumed it was a 16-ounce drink that was like a tequila-based cocktail.
I didn't see that.
But right next to it, it was like on the sign, it said 4-ounce, and it was like, $5 or whatever. And then 16-ounce was like $20 or $19.
I'd like the El Chingon tequila, please.
I don't
16-ounce tequila shot.
I don't know what you would do with that, to be honest.
Ooh. Well, you'd have to pour me out after I was done.
Yeah.
But this is curious. We need a wonderful restaurant. I'm not trying to knock anything down, but I read the sign because they had some mezcals. They're from I forget where they're from in Mexico, but obviously a place where fine tequilas are made.
Yeah.
So they knew what they had, but I saw a 16-ounce tequila shot. Like, ooh,
if that's what it is, it's like, wow, man. I guess you bring your own mixers, or you just
sip it like
yeah.
And it's good brands, but that's about as big a order of tequila I've ever seen.
I've never seen it.
And kudos to them.
And we didn't order it. I would think we maybe should have.
And kudos for us for knowing discretion was far better than the valor.
Yeah.
Would have been required to finish a 16-ounce tequila shot after the 5 pounds of pork.
I was going to say that would have been the disaster. Is like trying to keep it all contained in one location after that. But
watch some football last night?
I did watch some football last night. The undercashed. I got lucky last night because the bets that I was considering.
I'm going to have to take a break. I'm not gambling well.
Well,
I gotta break the mojo. I'm gonna have to kill a chicken. I have to have somebody's grandmother rub an egg on my head or something. I'm not doing well.
Well, Edwin steered you wrong yesterday on the Brewers.
Kinda fade the Brewers. What was that?
Yeah, the Dodgers have won they've lost 7 out of 8 on the road, and Edwin was like, "Oh,
they have their number. They just fade the Brewers."
No, man,
I faded my account. What it did.
Yeah, Edwin ain't worried about your money.
And then WNBA, I hit it anyway. I've got to have to break the streak. I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but
I'm glad that I said I'm going to wait and see on WNBA, because my whole strategy of that I would have implored of riding the teams that were not playing in the Olympics would have been way wrong.
I think they weren't practicing.
No,
AJ.
I think the Liberty won by 1,004 points or something. It was a smacking, and then the Mercury beat the snot out of the sorry ass Chicago Sky.
I'm surprised they didn't start a fight. If I was on the Sky,
as we know, the Sky does have a thug that assaulted Caitlin Clark.
So,
and should have gone to prison.
Obviously, they're not ready for game situations.
No,
there would have been a fight after that.
Yeah, but Kennedy Carter's worried more. People are saying about her in the press, talking about her being a thug and a bully, assaulting poor Caitlin Clark.
It's this generation, you can't do that stuff.
You can't do it, man.
Feel threatened.
We've got a hell of a show planned for you today. A hell of a program. Dakota Prescott is in the news. He's optimistic. He's feeling good.
I don't blame him one bit. I'm optimistic about his future as well.
I just don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah, it could be someplace else, but he's going to be just fine.
But he's apparently optimistic about the state of his ankle. Although the fact that we're still it's still coming up in the news is, I'd say, alarming at a minimum. This is a 3-year-old injury now.
Yeah. This is, and we're talking about you got to wear a boot when you go fishing, and there's going to be some early onset arthritis on that. I think we can all.
Did we? Was there ever any talk about Dak's foot or ankle last season?
No, and no.
There has to have been some sort of aggravation.
I don't think it's about aggravation, AJ. I think it's about negotiation. I think the stories are coming out from the Jerry side of things. Ask him about his foot. Hey, check on the foot. Make sure you're asking about that foot. He had to wear it. He's limping. You notice?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Rob. If you're Dak, why the hell are you wearing a boot 3 years later, knowing that you're in negotiations?
Who cares? Did you see what Kirk Cousins got? He needs a boot.
That's true.
That's why the reason he's optimistic is it doesn't matter.
So we'll talk about Dak. CBS did they've got a thing out where they project the Cowboys 53-man roster, who's in and who's out for the Cowboys. So we'll talk about that. We'll see if we agree with everything on it. We'll see if we assume all these people are going to be gone. But unfortunately, one of the guys we talked to at training camp is on the
he's on the but I think we all knew even then.
Au revoir list. We will talk some of that Eagles-Patriots game that we saw last night. We'll talk about these wild-ass Notre Dame kids who, they're just...
if you don't know what we're talking about, the Notre Dame men's swimming team has been suspended for an entire year due to internal gambling. Now, that sounds like... Dun, dun, dun!
Oh, and I've got to tell you, Rob, it is dreadful
I don't
allegations.
have a problem with what was going on. I don't see the problem here.
And then late in the show, we'll preview the Big Ten. We'll go over some of the betting odds and talk about who's up, who's down in the new look Big Ten. But it's gonna be a fun program, and it's gonna be a fun night because after we finish the show today, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take a sweet nap.
Sweet nap.
And then when I wake up, I'm going to start pre-gaming for Def Leppard and Journey and Steve Miller.
It's going to be a blast. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, baby. And we're going to have ourselves a grand old time. I'm planning on Ubering, but I'm also wondering what's the Uber wait going to be like after a show.
That's
like
why you stay downtown.
I know, but
head over to St. Paul's, hit the river, head down to Southtown.
You're an elite.
I'm an elite.
Yeah, not me. Whenever possible, I like to be in the comforts of my own home where I can poop in my own toilet. That's a big deal to me. I can sleep on my own pillow. I like that.
Well, I don't think going out tomorrow night late would interfere with any of those things if you adequately prepare yourself.
Well, that's what I'm going to try to do.
I hope to get you home in time to poop, which was really the goal I'm going to have in mind tonight.
That's what it should be.
Actually, everybody's goal should be to get home in time to poop, or at least find a toilet.
I would hope in time.
That's kind of goes to one of those basic human necessities.
Well, I'm not going to be with my wife. You'll be with yours. If you miss the deadline,
I want to let you know something, AJ.
news.
Now, we haven't gotten a chance to meet the lovely Ms. Hoffman.
I
have, but we haven't been out as couples, and that will happen very soon. You're going to find very quickly that while you might not be with your wife, if you're with the other wives, you're with your wife.
Oh, boy.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's the Upside Down Pineapple Club.
No, it's not that.
Oh, okay.
There's no Eskimos here. But it is you are in the presence of the eyes and ears.
I don't think you can say that word anymore, by the way.
What's that?
The E word.
I'm trying to go through my mental Rolodex.
You said there's no blanks here.
I want to make you say it. I'm
not going to say the E word.
No,
I'm
not going to say
no way.
If we're in trouble, we're going down together.
I'm not going to talk about the Inuit people who may or may not live in igloos.
I'm sorry. Yes, the Inuits. I'm sorry. The First Nations. I apologize.
Yeah, you want to throw around that?
But that's
a
term that's colloquial that you have to stick with it. Inuit, brother, really doesn't sound very good, does it?
No. No.
It loses all his pizzazz. It's like screaming, "Well, coitus you." It doesn't work.
Well, what is what are the
intercourse? What?
So are all the wives? Do they? What do they do? They police you?
No, they don't police you. They take care of you. It's a good thing.
Well, that's good. I could use that.
Well, I tend to wander off. They'll wrangle me back in.
Like Rob has an air tag attached to him.
That's kind of me. They're like, "Where's Rob?" And at least if my wife's not
pulls
there,
it up on her phone. Oh, his air tag shows him in the.
They tend to come get me, which
I
appreciate.
He wandered outside. No idea why.
Yeah, I've been out places where my wife wasn't, and I've been lost for hours.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing we've got is the Spurs schedule is released. We now know all the national games. I mean, the Spurs are very, very popular now, Rob.
I want to give Edwin some credit as we head into break. Think of this. You think there's not karma in this world, or you don't think that there are. We're going to get you when we're going to get you. The Los Angeles Clippers lead the league in back-to-backs. Kawhi Leonard don't play back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a kick in the nuts to Ballmer and his pretty new arena in Kawhi Leonard this year.
Why is that?
Because there's going to be games that Kawhi's going to be, because if you're going to miss games, you miss home games. That's the rule, kind of. You're not getting in trouble if you miss home games. Well, on these back-to-backs, some of which are at home, he's going to miss some home games.
Oh, well, they'll figure it out.
I just think it's karma, man. Again, Voldemort deserves everything Snake Nose needs to get. So I keep tabs, man.
We got to get you some therapy.
Now, Kawhi's on the
go.
list. And Schlossnagel, I'm coming for you, brother.
You gotta let go.
I haven't forgotten. We're still coming for you.
You gotta let go of this.
I'm on this Kawhi committee. We still have some things, some dirty tricks.
It's okay, Rob.
No, I got a couple more things we're executing. This is high-level CIA stuff we're involved in.
Show me on the doll where Kawhi touched you.
Well, he touched me in some bad places. I've been some places with Kawhi.
The dirtiest place.
I don't like talking about.
No, I don't want to show you on the doll.
And let me tell you, I've been a fan of those
Put
80s.
the doll away, please.
I've been a fan of those 80s retribution movies for a long time.
Well, it's time.
In a world.
It's time to let go.
So no, Kawhi, the dirty tricks continue. And as I remind Schlossnagel, I'm coming for you, brother.
Forgiveness.
We never forget. We forgive. We never forget. And it's coming.
It's coming. One of these days, retribution will be Rob's. All right, we'll talk about Dak on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. Cowboys! South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 9, the Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders in their second of 3 preseason games. Pre-game starts at 8 p.m. Presented by AA Best Bell Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out our tractor package deals. We're offering 0 down and 0 APR financing for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Now through September 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Football season is finally here, friends, and it's time to jump into the Prize Picks play. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Heck, there's over 5 million active users. I'm one of them. You should jump in today. Use your fantasy knowledge to go win some serious money. Know your players' stats. You've been playing them before. Put them to work. Is Zeke going to get 90 yards? Is Stephon Diggs going to get 100? Your more, pick your less, but go pick them. That's Prize Picks. Go play them today. It's easy. Use the code Alamo, download the app, and you've got $100 just waiting for you. That's code Alamo on the Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Head over to Prize Picks right now and use that knowledge. If it's football season, Prize Picks is the place to be. It's the best way to win real money this football season. It's Prize Picks. Go download it today. Alamo for $100. There's money waiting on it. Use your knowledge. Go win some more with the code Alamo and Prize Picks. And tell them Rob sent you.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football. It's more than a game. It's an experience. Go Runners!
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. If you're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. You didn't tell me you were all caught up.
You told me it was good.
And you watched
my wife in the true crime. And the funny thing about this, we're talking about that Lacey Peterson documentary that hit Netflix this week, is how much of it I remember. Like, I remember the day-to-day stuff. It was not quite the level of the OJ attention span, but it certainly was close of its era.
Now, your wife watched it with you?
Oh, yeah.
Is she on board that he's definitely 100% guilty?
Are you kidding? More than me.
But do you agree with me that there's what you could consider reasonable doubt?
By my nature, I tend to fall on the defense side of things. It's just my nature. I tend to find the flaw in the accusation. That's just where I look. I can't find the flaw in the accusation here. And everything that they said, again, we talked about it yesterday. I think in many times circumstantial evidence is better than even DNA sometimes. If you can lay the path and you can tell this is where we start and this is where we ended and ended in this. And while we can't prove all together, put the puzzle together, I think when you draw that line, it's almost as easy to convict as anything. And they did. I mean, from beginning to end, the boat and the stories and the lies and the girl and everything combined. There is no doubt in my mind. And I want to find it. That's just my nature.
There were a couple things in the trial where they thought they had him. And it was like okay, you said you were watching Martha Stewart with her on that morning. And so they were talking about meringue.
Yeah.
And there was no episode like that. And then the defense pulled up the episode and it was like, yep, sure enough, Martha Stewart's talking about meringue that day. And they're like, why would you even try that if you're the prosecutor? And then the prosecutor asked the side piece, the side gal, Amber Frey. They asked her if Scott Peterson ever told her that he loved her. And she was like, well, no. And he was like, never? She was like,
well,
no. I mean, there were implications and he did loving things, but no, he never told me that he loved me. And you could tell the prosecutor was like, damn it. I thought for sure that so I don't know. I'm a big believer in I don't want anybody to go rot in prison. I'd rather 100 people go free that are guilty than one person rot in prison that is not guilty. So I generally am like reasonable doubt is like a little bit. You know, it's got to be.
Want to be that way. I agree with you. But in situations like this, I think if you were in the room in the jury, the way that it was presented, I think you'd have had a hard time.
Maybe so.
And some of this is small town prosecutors tend to over prosecute. You know, that prosecutor, you could tell, was trying to dot every T, or cross every T, dot every I. I'm going to prosecute you with everything. I'm going to talk about this, and we're going to accuse you of that, and everything has to. He didn't have to do all that. And that whole meringue thing, why would you even bring that up?
Just trying to make him look like a liar.
And you already had him. You had him 100 different ways. You didn't have to do that too. And when you do that, you do leave yourself open for what happened. I mean, you get hooked on stuff that really didn't matter at the end of the day.
Well, his death sentence has been
commuted because the jury did get poor instructions. They didn't get the jury was not paneled as far as their belief or disbelief in the death penalty, and they didn't get the right instructions as they went in, so it was commuted to life in prison
without chance of parole. But listen, in California, at this point in California, death row means your life in prison without parole anyway, so nothing changes. But yeah,
just a great stuff for those that don't remember it. It's one of those heart-wrenching, oh my God, where is she?
Yeah,
kind of stories that just went on and on and on.
But was I right? She was cuter than his side piece.
Oh, but his side piece was a very different look.
Yeah,
and every guy has a type. So what I would do is I would go look at the girlfriend he had before her, and if she was a tall blonde, another reason that it happened. And I'll bet if they went back and looked, he had some tall blondes because every guy has a type. At the end of the day,
because they were about exact opposites.
Yeah,
she was like tall blonde, and his wife was like 5'1". You know, she was a tiny little brunette,
and very different looks. So if his previous girls were tall blondes,
that Amber was too skinny for me. They need to feed her something. But
she photoed well sometimes. Others it was not quite as good.
Yeah,
kind of a distant beauty, but a very different type.
And she didn't seem. I don't know. She didn't look as friendly as the wife. The wife looked friendly. I don't know.
Well,
what can we get into the reasons you murder your wife, though?
Oh man,
I've never done it.
I'm telling you, in Texas, that dude would have been under the prison. The fact that cat is still walking around, you're like, okay.
Well, listen, man,
you're sucking up the air that should have been long. You should have been fertilizer a long time ago, brother.
Ironically, he was a fertilizer salesman.
I know, isn't it? All the way, it goes full circle.
All right. I promise we'll talk about Dak on the other side. We also got to talk about the Falcons, who look like they're trying to build something here. It's impressive what they've done the last couple of days, which is odd at this point in the offseason to be making legitimate moves to improve your team. And then I also want to talk about Wander Franco and I'm going to ask Vic a serious question as a father, and see if his answer is similar. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
The Blitz Tour continues. We are out for the third day in a row. The Hunters Extravaganza at Freeman Coliseum. I can't wait for that little rattlesnake action.
Yeah, Joe Ryan-Eagle's going to be in the rattlesnake pit. What feels like Dak Prescott has been it. Maybe he's getting closer to getting that contract done. We'll talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples.
Hi, my son's teacher emailed his back-to-school list. He needs crayons and a comp book for every subject.
Okay, no problem. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school.
Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue.
You got it.
And markers?
Of course.
Oh, geez.
Can we get a card, please?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each at Staples. Ends 8/24, in-store only, limit 10.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back. The 2024 Hunters Extravaganza. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Fun for the whole family. Check out our hunting seminars, the latest in hunting equipment, last season's best bucks in our annual deer contest, and for the little hunters, games, live alligators, snakes, and more. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. For details and tickets, go to huntersextravaganza.com.
Did you know that My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more?
My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union pays you up to 2 days early, gives you identity protection, pays you shopping rewards, travel and dining discounts, cell phone protection, and more.
Get all the advantages of My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits, and if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Moving and grooving in here on a Friday. Hell yeah, baby.
Hell
we made
yeah.
it. We made it. Dak Prescott. We might have mentioned his contract and his future a couple times this offseason, once or twice on this program. But he said, I'm not putting that much thought into hoping it gets done now. Hoping it gets done in a couple of weeks, during the season, or whenever it happens. I just know conversations are on the right way. First of all, it's terrible grammar, Dak. Conversations are on the right way. Well,
he's holding a helmet. Who knows?
Okay, yeah, you're right. He said a lot of good things are going on in there. I enjoy being a Cowboy 1,000%. Enjoy living in Dallas. Enjoy everything about it. But this is a business. Conversations are going well, but I'm thankful to be where I am right now, and that's here. Okay.
Are you confident?
I'm still not. I'm going back and forth with him and CD. I'm so confused. I'm so torn.
Well, what do you imagine in the world of high-end contractual negotiations between the professionals, the creative artists, and the Dallas Cowboys crack crew of numbers crunchers? What do you think the conversation is now that wasn't last week, last month, last year?
That's tough. And here's the thing. I don't think this conversation is about what should the contract structure be. I really think the conversation is as simple as, do we want this guy to be our quarterback for the next 5 years?
Well, that's a conversation that's not being had with Dak. That's a conversation being had within.
That's what I mean. Oh, you're talking about, like, what do you think?
Because like, Dak's saying, well, I like the way the conversations are going. What do you think they're talking about now that they weren't talking about before?
I can't answer that.
There's not anything. What I'm saying is there's
new.
not. And to imply that Jerry's going to give you a deal mid-season, that you're going to – now, the only way that happens, and I do believe firmly that Jerry is the most deadlines make deals kind of a guy that I've run into in a minute. I mean, he won't do anything until you absolutely have to, or the point of pain. That's how Jerry does business. And, as far as his money, he ain't paying you till he has to, or it is the point of pain. So to get them conversing, where's the point of pain? Dak's here. He's practicing, and he could suck. This team could be god-awful. There's no pain in waving goodbye to a guy that I don't have to pay any money to. So I don't see when whatever Dak believes is happening, what new is coming up?
I don't think there is anything new.
Right. So, you're coming in, you can dance around it, Dak, but you and I both know that you're at a stalemate. Jerry has given you a number, and you have told him it ain't enough, it ain't long enough, there's not enough guaranteed. One of those three things. And he ain't moving. No point of pain. No deadline that'll make the deal.
He missed a day of practice last week with a sore ankle. Second time in a month that he's done that. We talked about the walking boot on the boat. But they asked him about that, and he said it was a nasty ankle injury, something that I do each and every day, every other day, doing my rehab, making sure I'm staying focused on it. Now, think about that. That was 2020 that injury happened. 2020.
I'll tell you this. Once we get past the preseason, I don't recall, even last year before, I don't recall anything about his ankle bothering him.
I don't either.
And so,
but it's bad timing to be having to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you and I both know he hadn't missed a minute. I don't remember him limping. That might be worse than it was, but I don't think. I mean, it's also typical training camp repetition kind of injury stuff. I think this is just a point of something to talk about. And I told you earlier, I do believe that this is the kind of question that's planted by the Jones and the Cowboys side. Ask him about his ankle. Let's talk about this. Are you worth all this kind of money if you're limping around?
What was it a couple years? What year was that he hit his hand on that helmet? Was that his thumb or his wrist that was hurt?
It was his thumb. It was a finger, I believe.
Okay, and he missed half the season or something,
Hit
or
a couple
close
of
to
games
that.
there. Yeah, he's been pretty durable for the most part, considering the injuries he's dealt with. But
yeah,
and the ankle is certainly an issue. But at the end of the day, would we be talking about this about anybody else? I mean, he hadn't missed a game from it.
Well, so Prescott he keeps his own therapist who works with the Cowboys training staff, and they go through a checklist 6 days a week where they're working on his ankle, shoulder, or back. I'll be honest, the idea that an injury that happened 4 years ago, he still has to do treatment on it 6 days a week.
Well, I think it sounds like one of those Tom Brady, LeBron James, I'm spending millions a year no matter what, just to, if I don't have to get ready, if I stay ready kind of thing.
But you know what? You do that with your hamstrings. You do that with your back.
You mentioned his foot and his neck and his shoulder. I mean,
but
your ankle. I get you. But he's a 6-year pro.
What are you doing to get your ankle ready for the next seat? Unless it's hurt.
Pro, he's banged up. I think that is a legitimate concern. But really, do you think that is enough to go, I'm not going to pay you $60 million?
Well, no, but if you're making a pros and cons list and you're on the edge of whether you want to do it or not.
Oh, dude,
it's certainly a big red
my
flag.
Cons list has nothing to do with physical. I mean, I could come up with a fairly long list of cons for Dak Prescott before I got to a bad ankle. I mean, let's be realistic. He is just an average passer, just average at best. And now, but the leadership is off the charts and other things are off the charts. But when it comes down to just pocket accurate passer, he's an average NFL quarterback. That's all he is.
Well, we'll talk about Dak more at 7:30. When we come back, we'll talk about the Falcons, the moves they're making to shore up their roster before week 1. And it looks like they're making some pretty nice steps on the defensive side of the ball. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
All your accents sound the same as some Irish guy, no matter what country you're going with.
Yeah, this is not true.
Be stealing my lucky charms.
That's got it. Let me hear his East German.
Be stealing my lucky charms.
What do you want to hear?
Italian? Sure, let me hear Italian.
Hey, you're walking here.
Sounds like somebody from Yonkers, New York.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Wherever I travel, I've learned that local knowledge is key to a great journey, but so is knowing the language. And that's where Rosetta Stone comes in. They're now offering a lifetime membership to all 25 of their languages. You can dabble in French, try a little German, learn Japanese or Swedish. And you can now get 50% off Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to purchase and then learn for life. That's rosettastone.com/radio. FisherandInvestments.com/radio.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoff and Rob Warren, San Antonio's sports star.
Falcons making some moves, man. Yesterday or 2 days ago, they add Matthew Judon, 4-time Pro Bowl edge rusher. It's a pretty good piece to add. And then yesterday, I didn't even know this guy was out of and available. Justin Simmons, who's a 2-time Pro Bowler himself, 4-time second-team All-Pro.
Mm-hmm. A lot of baggage, though. There's a lot of baggage showing up in
Sure.
Atlanta. A lot of things in closets and some pasts that need to be put behind, and a lot of good things in guys' bad past need to happen in the future. It feels like a home for wayward good players.
But Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, you might be talking about like the best safety tandem in football.
Yeah. Or a bunch of guys that couldn't get contracts from other teams for reasons.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. AJ Terrell, they've got themselves a nice little secondary going.
And an offense that should light fires, man. This
Yeah,
should be
they've
a
got
very
them,
good
man.
team.
No safeties in the NFL have combined for more interceptions and forced incompletions than Simmons and Bates, according to Pro Football Focus.
I wonder, there's always – that's an interesting stat. And I don't know if that's a good – I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah. Interceptions and forced incompletions.
A lot of times when you see that, though, and you
That's
go,
your job.
our defense led the league in pass defense because your run game was a sieve. I mean, they didn't have to,
that was an issue.
I wonder why those two dudes, there might be a reason behind it. But, yeah, it looks on paper they have rounded up in certain positions. They're really, really deep.
30 interceptions in 8 years in Denver. Released by the Broncos in March. The Falcons were a slightly below average defense last year. They were 18th in points allowed per game last year. Their offense, I think they're going to be better in general. I think getting rid of Arthur Smith is going to, and no offense to Arthur Smith, I think Arthur Smith's a really good OC. He just wasn't a good head coach.
He ran Tua out of the league.
Yeah. I think that the Falcons may be a team to watch.
They're in the division to do it.
Yeah, it's a wide open division.
Division to get good fast and be successful. But you just get the sense that I don't know. A lot of things have to go right in the moves that they've made. If I'm a Falcon fan, I'm all in this. I appreciate a team we're all in. We're going to do everything we can because we see an opportunity. But there's a certain Atlanta-ness to this. That it may or may not work,
Well, with Atlanta, it always kind of feels that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like the Jets South. Like they're going to do a lot of the right things and they're going to be fun, but at the end, they're going to become who they always were.
They're going to be the Falcons.
Yeah.
Even when they're dominating at halftime of a Super Bowl, they're still going to be the Falcons.
So,
but when you think about has a team. You think about the upgrade that they made at quarterback to go from Desmond Ridder, Desmond Ridder stunk last year. Taylor Heineke stunk last year. So to go from that to Kirk Cousins, the potential is there for like an immediate upgrade. I don't know, man. I'm maybe bullish on the Falcons in a way that I'm generally not, because generally I'm with you. I think, the Falcons, well, they're gonna Falcon. They'll blow it. And they also drafted Michael Penix, who it could be, obviously. Listen, anytime you take a quarterback in the draft, you always have hopes that he's going to be that dude. But you take a guy in the top 10, it's like, ooh,
well, you get to hide him. You don't get to. We don't have
no
to
pressure
talk
right
about
now.
him.
Nobody's saying, he should be starting. It's like, no.
But we're still waiting on Cousins to get fully healthy. It's going to be a minute there, and you don't want to put Penix out there. So it could slow the development of the offense. They got a defense that looks like they can fly around in a division that seems pretty wide open.
Well, and also,
I'm buying.
And also think about this. When you consider Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson, all of them were looked at as elite weapons at the time that the Falcons drafted them. And you could argue all three of them have been underutilized since they've been in the league. I would imagine now they're like, okay, we're going to get these guys the
Yes, that's why they fired Smith. He couldn't figure out how to get the ball. And all these, they were a bit repetitive. They had 2 running backs and 3 wide receivers.
But they only got 1 Bijan. Put the ball in that guy's hands.
About it.
Put the ball in his freaking hands. All right. When we come back, I'm going to ask Victor a fathering question. Very important stuff. And then we'll talk some Notre Dame swimming betting on the other side of that. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Football season is finally here, friends, and it's time to jump into the Prize Picks play. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Heck, there's over 5 million active users. I'm one of them. You should jump in today. Use your fantasy knowledge to go win some serious money. Know your players' stats. You've been playing them before. Put them to work. Is Zeke going to get 90 yards? Is Stephon Diggs going to get over 100? Play your game. Pick your more. Pick your less, but go pick them. That's Prize Picks. Go play them today. It's easy. Use the code Alamo. Download the app, and you've got $100 just waiting for you. That's code Alamo on the Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Head over to Prize Picks right now and use that knowledge. If it's football season, Prize Picks is the place to be. It's the best way to win real money this football season. It's Prize Picks. Go download it today. Alamo for $100. There's money waiting on it. Use your knowledge. Go win some more with the code Alamo and Prize Picks. And tell them Rob sent you.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Lone Star Transfer. If you felt like booking your timeshare was difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible over the last few years. With an A+ rating at the BBB, our clients know Lone Star Transfer is the only company they can trust. We guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Call us today to receive a free, no-obligation consultation at 833-594-0077 or online at lonestartransfer.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
We are coming up on the best time of the year. Football season is right around the corner. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Now is the time to get ready for Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. Join in and you too could win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I love playing the pick'em game. Won a lot of money last football season and plan on making more this year. Making picks on Underdog is simple, easier to get started. Go to their mobile app or to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry, plus a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys play their second preseason game tomorrow as they head to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. In the Little League World Series, Bernie, the team from Southwest, crushed the Mid-Atlantic squad while riding an 18-game win streak coming into the game. They shut them down 9-0. Caden Guffey, Doc Mogford, and Cole Newsom all hit home runs. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning. Hour number 2 of the Huddle. AJ and Rob on a Friday. On a Def Leppard Friday.
You think they're already in town?
Yeah.
I think Steve Miller's listening right now.
Probably.
Most rock bands are up at 7 a.m.
No, probably not.
Most of them are up doing
especially not Steve Miller. He's a midnight toker. He wouldn't be around right now.
Yeah, they're up doing vigorous calisthenics.
If I were toking at midnight, I wouldn't wake up early and listen to our show.
Up downs, things like that.
I wanted to bring in Victor because he is the father of a girl. One daughter or two?
One daughter. She's 22 years old.
Do you remember when she was 14 years old?
Yeah.
What a time, right?
Oh, yes, it was. That's when the gray hair started on the beard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, so you're saying she was a handful?
Oh, yes, she was.
Now, did she ever sleep with a 21-year-old dude when she was 14?
No.
Okay. Not that you know of.
Not
right?
that I know of, but no. Yeah.
But if she did, you would be pissed off, right?
Yep.
Well, oddly enough, Wander Franco, who is accused of sleeping with this 14-year-old gal when he was 21, the father of the victim is now seeking dismissal of the charges. Now, he's not looking to kill Wander Franco. He's looking to say, hey, I didn't know all the facts. Let's let this guy off the hook. Now, let's have a little reminder of how contracts in baseball work. The original request was 15 million pesos. That was the damage that was being
like
asked.
$3? What is that?
I don't know.
$4.50, I think.
Yeah, it's it would
and a bottle and a Mexican Coke.
It might have bought our taco order this morning.
Sounds like a lot, but yeah.
I mean, listen, Rob, they're not in the United States. They use pesos. Don't laugh. This is serious. Now, the attorney that represents William Gonzalez, the father of the alleged victim, is this, I don't know, Dignora. How would you say that name?
Dignora?
Dignora? Is that a male or is that a masculine or
that's
feminine
female.
name?
That's enough.
Let me see.
I don't know. Dignora Delone is the lawyer. And what's it say? Try now, type in the last name, which is Dilone. Okay, it's a gal.
Female.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this
She's
lady,
got a Twitter.
Well, yeah, of course. She's got to keep up with things.
Yeah.
So this lady is saying that the daughter told him things she's now told the father things between her and Vonder weren't like that, and at no point were they intimate. They simply took a photo like any celebrity and young person would. So now, and remember, the family was the ones who pushed this to begin with, although allegedly the mom was like taking gifts from Vonder Franco to let it happen.
And this is in the Dominican, right?
Yeah. Now, the lawyer says we've never had the intention of harming him, and the father understood because Vonder is a source of pride for our country. It's an excellent prospect and an excellent export of Dominican baseball, and that's why from the beginning we've advocated for no prison. I don't know. I feel like if this dude banged my 14-year-old daughter, I wouldn't care if he was good at baseball or not. If he was an American hero, I'd still be. He could be a war hero, and I'd be like, no. It's still not. I still want you to go to prison.
Excuse it. No.
Now, but here's the other thing. They said he can withdraw the complaint at the moment he feels appropriate, the judge. There are things that he does not 100% agree with the prosecution, and he will adapt his interests if he chooses to continue. Like in the case, he does not want to continue, and he's going to ask the same of the defense. He told me he does not want to continue, but it is my duty to continue all the hearings.
Who doesn't want to continue? The father.
The father. The father
of the victim
is saying, listen, man, this guy, I was wrong to accuse him, but I want this thing to stop. I have a feeling
I know that before or after he got into his new Mercedes.
Well, here's the thing. The Rays have not paid Vonder Franco since he's been put on the restricted list, which was probably around this time last year. It was late in the season last year. They said, well, you're not playing baseball anymore. You're a bad guy. But he had just signed an 11-year, $182 million extension. Now,
wow.
If Franco were to go to prison for 20 years, he would not receive that $182 million, presumably from the Tampa Bay Rays. If he were found, like if this whole thing were thrown out, swept under the rug, mind you, I don't know if the Rays would want him back. My guess is the Rays would not want him back.
Tarnished.
I mean, if Trevor Bauer can't get a job after being falsely accused of some gal where she was actually prosecuted for being a false accuser and a liar, and like they caught her in text message saying she was going to, extort Trevor Bauer, he can't find a job. I would imagine this guy who's accused of banging a 14-year-old isn't going to get a job. But he would still get that $182 million. Because remember, baseball contracts are guaranteed. And if the charges are dropped, they're going to have to pay him.
Yeah. Well, there's always language in contracts that we don't know. And there's the tarnish the shield that is kind of the broad, don't do anything to embarrass yourself or the team. But we don't know what was built into his contract. And there could be some individual language there that is above and beyond. I just did the math. So
how many pesos?
So he's asking for 15 million Dominican pesos. The exchange rate currently, the American dollar to the Dominican peso is 0.017 pesos.
Okay.
So it works out to about $250,000 is what
that's it.
So he's a simple man.
Yeah.
All you wanted is $250 for your daughter? Sure.
Jeez, man. I don't know.
That's a game check.
Yeah. That what you would have asked for way more pesos than that, right, Vic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be in the billions probably just to get something.
Yeah, at least 100 million pesos. Now, is the Dominican peso worth more or less than the Mexican peso?
I'm sure it's worth 0.017.
I'll be honest. If my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, were going to hook up with a 21-year-old dude, if he had a neck tattoo, I would charge him. I would charge him more pesos. Like I would be this is. Listen, man, you got a neck tattoo. If you're going to do this, it's going to cost you 100 million pesos. But yeah, I don't. It's not.
It's going to cost you.
I mean, I know what you're saying. There could be some language in the contract that would potentially get the raise out, but I know this. You know who will have to fight for him is the Major League Baseball Players Association.
Oh yeah,
and you know who rarely loses is the Major League Baseball Players
yeah.
Association.
I think there's enough there where he'll not play baseball again.
I don't think he'll
not
play
in
again
the United States.
but
that doesn't mean he can't play elsewhere and get paid. The Venezuelan League and the Dominican League, the Puerto Rican League. There's places to go get paid, but certainly not on the level we're talking about.
But I think they will give him his $182 million, or at least a substantial portion of it.
I would say if I had a player who was alleged, although not convicted, of predatory behavior toward a little girl, I could probably find my way out of paying.
I don't know, man. Because once you're cleared of charges, it's like
still.
Well, just because I'm supposed to pay it doesn't mean I'm going to pay it.
Yeah.
And come and get it if you want it. And take me to a jury and let's explain exactly why I don't want to pay you and see if they decide whether I should pay you.
Because once this gal comes out and says, we never did anything.
Well,
I just took a picture with him.
Do you rely on the testimony of a 14-year-old girl when we're talking about the millions that are being deployed here? I think that it would be very difficult for me.
See, it's funny you say that because if she were saying the opposite thing and someone said, do you rely on the testimony of a 14-year-old girl?
She did say the opposite
right.
at one point. So that's what I'm saying. So the first thing you said was probably the truth.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like
here's what I'm doing.
It would be very difficult for him, especially in a Dominican court, to pry the money away from me. I might owe it to you, but it's going to be hard for you to ever get it from me. I could fight a lot longer than you can.
I'm not acting like Wander Franco is innocent.
I know you're not.
I'm almost certain that he is guilty.
Tampa Bay, if you're Tampa and you look at this and you go, well, if I lose, I pay $180 million. I'm willing to spend 5-10 to say that I never spend 180, and $10 million puts you in court for a long freaking time.
What it may end up, but you know who's going to be on the other side of that is the Players Association.
Again, you think the Players Association is going to be proud to stand up?
They have to. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, it is part of the deal. But
they had to stand up for Barry Bonds. They have to stand this
is not predatory.
They've had to stand up for Trevor Bauer. It's not fun.
Bauer's still not in the league.
No, but he got his contract paid out.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. I think they had to pay him out.
I think again, I think we're on there's the right and there's right, and I think that right always turns out here.
You know what's going to end up happening? My guess is they owe him $180 million. They're going to say, "Hey, we'll give you $100 million. You go away. We go away. We don't know you anymore."
We're talking about a little 14-year-old girl.
How many pesos? That's what Vonder's going to ask. Okay, $180 million. How many pesos are you going to give me? Maybe the Rays can give him 180 million pesos.
Well, it'd work out to about, he wanted 15 million.
Yeah.
So that's 250,000.
So yeah, 2.5 million. The Rays would take that. Rays will say, "Oh yeah, we'll give you that."
What I'm saying is, if you tell me I could keep from paying you 180 by spending 10, I'm spending 10. Come get it.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. If he does indeed get because right now the dad's saying, "I want to drop all the charges," but it's already in the judge's hands now.
I can't imagine.
It's too late.
This situation
and I don't
good for Wander Franco.
Dominican law states that at any time there is a case involving a victim, the victim's family could become civil parties to the proceedings in order for the court to issue civil compensation for damages caused. If you do not become a party to the case, then you have no recourse for compensation. So that tells you why he's suddenly interested, because if he doesn't put his
I got to get in here so I can sue for the money.
He can't get anything.
And he could get that money on, I don't know, it sounds like a Dominican civil court where he can chase whatever money he has.
And Wander Franco is going to give him, what you want, 15 million pesos? I got you, baby. I'll get you 15 million pesos and a
250
and a Volkswagen Super Beetle, 1981 Volkswagen Super
Beetle,
good
one,
fully restored.
Carmen Gia, you want that? You like that Carmen Gia, baby? I got you that.
Are there a lot of VWs in the Dominican?
I don't know. I imagine
like Mexico City.
I would imagine.
That's where every Volkswagen goes to die, is Mexico City.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about this Notre Dame scandal which I'm not sure how much of a scandal it is. I think we're being very, very protective now. The world is so panicked because the big bad gambling bug is out there and it's scary. And you never know what these crazy kids are going to get into. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I don't know what the hell I'm watching here, but there are stupid people out there. There's a guy. How do you describe this? There is a guy who, like a flaming arrow, is shot up in the air, and this guy catches it with his crotch, and it sets his junk on fire. And he can't get out of those pants fast enough.
You got a flaming stick.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90. Online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back. The 2024 Hunters Extravaganza, August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Fun for the whole family. Check out our hunting seminars, the latest in hunting equipment, last season's best bucks in our annual deer contest, and for the little hunters, games, live alligators, snakes, and more. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. For details and tickets, go to huntersextravaganza.com.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Selling your home is full of catch-22s. Do you pay for upgrades like new flooring and fresh paint to sell for more, or put that money toward your dream home? Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, where you can do both. Get more money for your current home and put more money down on your new one. Here's how it works. Orchard makes you an impressive backup cash offer for your old home. That unlocks cash for you to buy and move into your new home. Next, your Orchard team handles the repairs and upgrades on your old home at no upfront cost. Then your local Orchard agent lists, shows, and sells your home on the market. One customer said, quote, "Orchard sold my home for more than I expected and I got a golf cart." Home selling doesn't have to be a catch-22. With Orchard, get expert guidance and top dollar for your home. Visit Orchard.com and start with your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Notre Dame, fighting Irish, hooligans, thugs, and just overall bad eggs seem to be running abound there.
I've been told they're very smart.
Supposedly.
They all go to class. That's one of those things smart guys get into.
Well, you know what they don't do? Treat each other with dignity and respect.
Well, they're dumbers. It's hard to. I don't blame them. I don't treat them with dignity nor respect either.
Notre Dame has suspended its entire men's swimming program for at least a year after an external review found that members of the team violated NCAA rules by wagering amongst themselves on results of their competition and failed to treat each other with dignity and respect. Pete Bevacqua, Bevacqua.
Bevilacqua.
There's no L.
I don't know. That's what I'm going to say. Bevilacqua.
Mama called it Bevilacqua. I'm going to call him that.
Whatever.
I'm just going to call him Bevacqua.
Okay.
Or, you know what? He's from Notre Dame. I'll go Bevacqua. That's probably a fancy.
Probably the right way to say it.
In order to ensure this behavior ends and to rebuild a culture of dignity, respect, and exemplary conduct, we have decided to suspend the men's swimming program for at least one academic year. That's what the athletic director said.
Is their men's swimming program any good? That's my first. Are they winning meets, or are they just participants?
Do you know who is good at swimming? I don't. I don't know.
I'm just curious because
you know who's good at swimming.
Maybe they suck, and it's a good reason to get rid of the money.
The University of Texas is good at swimming.
Yeah.
You know how I know? Because all the folks on the Olympic team have Longhorn tattoos.
So were there any domers?
I didn't see any Notre Dame tattoos. I think I might have saw a Florida Gator tattoo, but that's it.
It feels like they didn't get in trouble for gambling, but they got in trouble for getting mad at guys that didn't.
That's kind of the thing.
It feels like it wasn't about the gambling, that there was a text chain that was found that could probably open the door for some kind of hazing lawsuit. That's what's happened. That's not anything other than that.
Here's what it is. According to a person with knowledge of the situation, the team had set up a makeshift internal sports book where athletes could wager on the times posted by themselves or teammates at meets. They never bet on opposing teams or on any other Notre Dame athletic events. So they only said, like, we're wagering on
I'll get a personal best at one, whatever it might be. And if I do, I get, I'm plus 500 or whatever it might be. It sounds like a reason to go out and succeed.
Now, what I don't know is if they said, like, if you said, okay, my time's going to be the over under on Chucky's time is 9.5 seconds. And Chucky says, oh, I'm going to be over that.
But I don't think that would be the case. I mean,
I wouldn't think so
either. You're a bunch of competitive dudes. I would think you're betting on success and not the opportunity. You're not going no pass line on this stuff,
The person said that more than 60% of the team, which includes 25 swimmers, took part in betting on the performances of the members of their team. It also revealed that some members of the teams had bet amongst themselves on events such as the Super Bowl and March Madness basketball tournament games. The group chat text with members of the team was filled with derogatory remarks.
See, this is it. This is the news part.
And now no evidence of physical hazing or abuse was uncovered. The women's swimming and diving teams and the men's diving teams were not found to have been involved.
Because you can't, I mean, at that point, you're gambling on the idea of what the judges' scores are.
Right.
This is just time. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing a problem with what went on, other than probably some mean things were said to people who weren't as successful as expected.
Oh, it does say here that Chris Giuliano won an Olympic gold medal as part of Team USA's 400-meter freestyle relay team. So he's a domer.
So they at least have some talent there. They're shutting down something that was a
That
success.
matters.
But
Yeah.
if they had lost like 17 straight swim meets,
Then who cares?
You're like, yeah, I can see why they're shutting this thing down. But it's Notre Dame, and they do have a I don't know, a reputation, however you want to define that, to keep up. This seems like a CYA move to me. Like, just in case, let's just excise what could be a cancer. Right now, it has precancerous formations here. Let's just cut it off and hope nothing grows back.
What I understood was the NCAA was trying to make it less punitive for these, like.
Well, this feels like what happened in Northwestern, because it feels like this is Northwestern got some hazing things. Gambling was not part of this, but hazing was. And it sounds like by the words that Notre Dame used, they're not so much worried about this ad hoc, little numbers game that was going on. It was more about the abuse taken by guys on this text chain that they're worried about, the mental hazing.
But the thing is, like, that wouldn't bring on any NCAA violations. I mean, I wouldn't think.
Well, no, that's one thing. Violations, shoot, we're not worried about that. I'm worried about a lawsuit. I'm worried about getting sued by one of these swimmers that were forced to participate in a negative environment because they were getting bullied on this text chain that I have verbatim over the years, guys being called punks and whatever else because they weren't as successful as they thought they were going to be. So this isn't about NCAA rules. This is about a check that the Notre Dame is afraid they might have to write to anybody that was involved with this. Follow the money.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It just feels like an overreaction to me. But here's the real question, though. If this happened amongst the Notre Dame football team, do you think we'd be shutting down the program?
Well, I'm not going to go self-righteous and say it would never happen that they would keep playing. And I also want to defend the Notre Dame brass too, because I do think that we're still working on some gray areas here. And and every time you get an opportunity to start drawing a line, this is where we need to be, because we are going to accept some gambling. We know it's part of the world, but we can't accept all the gambling considering the situation that these athletes find themselves. And we really haven't clearly defined where we're comfortable yet. So when I do see an institution trying to draw a line, I'm kind of for that. Now, it might not be the right line, but at least they're trying to say this thing is too far.
How did I know you were going to side with Bevacqua?
I'm not siding because I think that this is stupid. Because as long as I feel like, if I read that the only thing they were betting on is, I'm going to bet that Joe over here is going to get a personal best. I've watched him practice. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm going to bet for his success. I have no problem with that at all. Now, if
someone had to bet against the success, though.
Well,
otherwise, what's the bet?
Well, exactly. But it's only about. It's not. I'm betting he's going to lose. It's not about that. If I see at some point, I see any player betting on himself or a guy beside him to lose, and it's not about time. I'm betting as long as it's positive numbers. But the moment you're betting on a guy on your team to lose, then I start having an issue.
But here's the problem, Rob.
I know what you're saying.
If you and I make a bet,
but I don't have.
If you bet on the Spurs,
but there's the house that's the other side of that.
But when it's amongst yourselves, which this is.
But that money is funded by losses in the positive idea. I bet for this guy to win. I lost, but here's the money the house now has to pay me later. You know what I mean? As long as you're never betting to lose. You never, like Pete Rose. If you ever bet for your pitcher or your team to lose, whatever that was, you can never have that. That's the one thing you can't have. Now, what they're saying was there was a book that was put together. Yeah.
But by them.
There was but that was probably funded by losses. You know what I mean? You paid the house.
That's like I'm saying, if the four of us here were betting, we decided we're going to make a sports book, and you three said the Spurs are going to win this game.
And I say no.
Without saying it, but at least one of us has to be on the no side.
Bet that on time and not winning. You know what I mean? As long as we're betting like this guy is going to get better. And it's not about taking first or second. It's about, did he improve whether he got first or second or not? Then I could accept it. But as soon as we're betting on, I'm betting I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Then we've got that line. And that's why I credit Notre Dame for going, okay, let's try to define exactly where that line is. Because right now we don't know.
Yeah.
Especially when it's this internal group of guys that really seems to have had no effect on anything external other than what was their time or whatever that the most base level gambling they were doing without throwing a match or throwing a meet.
All right, let's talk some Cowboys on the other side. Let's talk about the projected 53-man roster. We'll get into some more Dak Prescott. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
The Blitz Tour continues. We are out for the third day in a row. The Hunters Extravaganza at Freeman Coliseum. I can't wait for that little rattlesnake action.
Yeah, Joe Reinagle is going to be in the rattlesnake pit. What feels like Dak Prescott has been it. Maybe he's getting closer to getting that contract done. We'll talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Hey, Reverend Charles, will you give him direction to the church down in Miami?
You just turn right on the service road, go about 4 miles, and there's a big chicken statue. That's RuPaul's House of Chicken. They advertise on local TV in Miami. RuPaul would hold the box of chicken and say, "Honey, eat my chicken."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 9. The Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders in their second of 3 preseason games. Pre-game starts at 8 p.m. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kevin says Rob talks so much garbage about Notre Dame while representing a cult in College Station.
Yes, I do. And you want to talk cult? You want to go roam the ivy-covered walls and look up at Touchdown Jesus? Yes, I said that. They have a Touchdown Jesus.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got guys running around in ice cream suits and overalls, but we don't have a Touchdown Jesus. Domers.
Jesus.
Hey, we go to class and we sit in the front. Shut up.
Jesus is Notre Dame's 12th man.
Hey, I'd take.
They just don't say it because it's copywritten.
Much respect. I got have a lot of Domer friends, but it's a bit of an arrogance that I will never put up with.
Okay.
Domer.
I saw a 53-man roster projection for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, and wanted to kind of get a feel from you on if this, as someone who was around this last year, if you feel like this sounds about right.
When I look at the roster and I haven't perused the current 53-man, I always look at where the tight end, if there's a fullback, there's a predilection for an extra tight end. And I think this year more than others, I don't know how it's going to land because special teams is so in flux. And, that's normally the last 10 guys on the roster are guys that are going to perform on the special teams on those 3 versions of that. And field goals, hadn't changed. But this kickoff and kick return crap, I don't know what guys I want to keep. What's the size? What's the appropriate athletic build for the modern kickoff game? I don't know.
Well, we knew they project all 3 quarterbacks to make the roster. I don't think that's any surprise. When you only have 3 in camp, the assumption is all 3 will make the roster. And I would be shocked if that wasn't the case. They have 4 running backs, although I guess Hunter Lepke is
the
fullback. But they've got Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle, Royce Freeman, and Hunter Lepke making the team. Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, Snoop Connor, and Nathaniel Pete out.
Again, is Deuce going to be a kickoff weapon now? Would that be a way he makes the team? It doesn't seem like it. And we knew coming into camp when he was running with the wide receivers, they were trying to find a place for him.
It said Vaughn made the initial 53-man roster last season, but McCarthy, who loves positional flex, may not see Vaughn as enough of a special teams contributor to justify the spot.
Good kid.
Could definitely be a practice squad candidate, but also Wednesday was his first practice since July 31st because he had a hamstring issue. So listen, if you're ever a guy who's on the fringe of making the roster, the last thing you want to deal with is a training camp injury.
We saw him practice his last day.
Yeah.
He's a nice kid, and it was a good story while it lasted. I am a little surprised about Malik, though. I felt like he had a bit of a better opportunity. That I wouldn't write him off yet.
Okay. They're talking about 6 wide receivers. CD, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert. I think those 3 are the easiest. Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Cropper.
What about Billy T or whatever?
On the out, it says Ryan Flournoy, T. Billy,
that's it.
Tyron Billy Johnson, David Durden, Racy McMath, Kelvin Harmon, Cam Johnson, Deontay Burnett. They say Flournoy and T. Billy feel more like practice squad players. Flournoy had a disappointing drop, fumbled the football out of bounds on one of his 2 catches. Billy Johnson has flashed in practices but wasn't targeted on Sundays. What this guy is not taking into account, though, is kind of what you said at the beginning. T. Billy, to me, is a guy that they may look at as a special teams ace type. So I don't know who that would come at the expense of, if it's Jalen Cropper or what. But
that Cropper, I hadn't seen enough to put him on there. But, this is – once we get past Turpin, who's going to be returning something, doing something in the kick game, everybody else is, if they're playing, it's there's a problem.
There are 7 tight ends in camp. This guy's projecting 3 of them to make it. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, and John Stevens Jr.
So Hendershot.
Peyton Hendershot out. Brevin Spanford out. Princeton Fant and Alec Holler all out.
What a waste of a pick.
Yeah, certainly. If that ends up being the case, they can't really cut Schoonmaker. He's a 2nd-round pick last year. It's too early to.
Yeah, every other year they're going to draft a tight end way too high.
Yeah, it's kind of tradition. 9 offensive linemen: Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, T.J. Bass, Brock Hoffman, Cooper Beebe, Terrence Steele, Asim Richards, and Matt Waletzko in. Nathan Thomas, Cole Cabral, Dakota Shepley, Earl Bostic, and Josh Ball out.
All gone.
It says Thomas, who's a 2024 7th-round pick, could be a practice squad player along with Ball. Ditto for the other 4 names, given the youth and depth along the Cowboys' offensive line. But it seems like this guy believes everybody could be a practice squad player. You can't have that many practice squad players.
The sad thing about this is I knew every name you just brought up.
Yeah.
That's not, you'd ideally like to know 5 of them and not know every backup and every swing guard and tackle. But because of the flux the Cowboy situation is in, that makes some sense. But sadly, I knew the backups. I knew every one of these cats, and I feel like I shouldn't have to know all these guys.
They've got him. They've got him keeping 8 defensive linemen: Micah, DeMarcus Lawrence, Mozzie, Osa, Chauncey Golston, Marshawn Nealon, Jordan Phillips, Carl Lawson.
Boy, Sam Williams opened the door for somebody, didn't he?
Yeah. Out would be Justin Rogers, Fahoko.
That's another wasted pick.
Al-Qadim Muhammad, Carl Davis, Albert Huggins, who apologized. I didn't mean to throw that little dude around, that little intern.
Poor dude.
Tyrus Wheat, Darrell Johnson, and Denzel Dixon would all be out. Phillips and Lawson puts anybody who was on the bubble before is now probably going, damn it. If you were one of those
who thought he had a shot,
Faloco types, you're probably like, oh, well, that's probably isn't good news for me. Zimmer said this week, Mozzie's done a good job in there. We have to find some more noses, obviously, see how these young guys do, just kind of go from there. But doesn't seem like, I don't know, doesn't seem like
it's not a position group of strength. I can tell you that.
Outside of the obvious. Linebacker, it says they're going to keep 5: Eric Kendricks, Overshone, Damone Clark, Louis Fowl, and Damian Wilson. Willie Harvey, Nick Vigil, Buddy Johnson, Darius Harris, and Brock Mogensen would be out.
No practice squad linebackers there.
It says Harvey, Vigil, and Johnson.
Buddy Johnson. Yeah, he's a mobile guy that seemed like a bomb squad type. And he's Aggie, so I have a little bit of it.
Cornerback 6, Diggs, Bland. No surprise there. Jordan Lewis, Kalen Carson, Eric Scott, and Andrew Booth.
Best room on the team. Best position group
you might
on the
be
team.
right, yeah. And it says out would be Josh Butler, Keemon Hall, and Josh DeBerry.
The sad thing is I don't know how good those guys are, but they're probably NBA NFL quality.
Probably. We'll 5 safeties, which feels like a lot of safeties.
But Dan Quinn brought in guys that are defined as safeties, but maybe they're skinny linebackers. So I don't know how you define how they're going to be used. But Zimmer's got a type too.
Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Juanye Thomas, Marquise Bell, and Israel Mukwamu.
Another good room, solid room.
Out would be Sheldrick Redwine, Emily Johnson, and Julius Wood. And all 5 of those safeties were on the team last year. They assume all 5 will be on the team again this year. And then special teamers, they don't have extra guys in special team or in the like in the camp.
Right.
Brandon Aubrey, Brian Anger are going to be the kickers. Trent Sieg going to do the long snapping, and then CJ Goodwin, who's like Bones Fossil always says he's like their impact special teams guy. He's doesn't play anywhere else. He's like a Steve
He's our
Tasker
Pro Bowl
type
nominee for the special teams.
Yeah. So although, I don't know. Were there any surprises to you that of guys that would be left off that you'd be like, oh, I'm surprised they're leaving him off?
If Jerry had done a lot of talent acquiring in the offseason, there might be a little bit more flux, but there wasn't a whole lot of new dudes showing up to take old guys' jobs. I mean, it's just kind of, it was going to be de rigueur.
True. If anything, you saw more talent leave out the door and didn't replace it.
So it was more about, what third stringer is going to be replaced by the new third stringer, what bomb squad guy was going to replace, and who's going to hold the line while the guys that are either hurt or holding out and can maybe get an opportunity to make the team. But there just wasn't a lot of flux there. That's why I said, when you look at the Cowboys, especially this year, look at how they're going to, is fullback going to be something? And it seems to be something. The defensive line, how many guys are they going to hold? Because it's obviously going to be by committee.
Yeah.
After that, the offensive line, we know those guys, usual suspects, no surprise there. Running back, they got a lot of average dudes, and whether they keep Royce or Malik, they're all kind of the same guy. So I get it. Makes sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is probably going to be about where they're going to sit when this is done, flexing maybe 2 guys here or there.
Did it say something that they would keep real? Because that's really essentially you're keeping 3 running backs. Then you obviously count your fullback. That feels like when you're keeping 6 wide receivers and your 3 running backs are, let's face it, 2 of the 3 are in their waning years.
You've made a point here that I think we need to look at. And I know that McCarthy's always, and every NFL coach seeks 50-50 balance. You want to keep the defense on their heels, whether they're not sure you're going to run or pass. But you're looking at this backfield, and they're not going to be running the ball a whole lot. This is not going to be a heavy run-centric, grounded pound kind of offense. So, yeah, these 3 running backs, they're all going to get a chance, but I get the feeling they're going to do a lot of protecting this young offensive line. There's going to be a lot of blitz picking up with these dudes, and in the run when it's supposed to, but for the most part, this is going to be a passing football team. So you're probably going to err on the extra receiver than you would on the extra back.
Then that begs the question, in 2024, if you are a very pass-heavy offense, which we assume the Cowboys are, why are you carrying a fullback?
Well, I think because special team, that's the Cowboys have always just had a fullback. Garrett kept them, and we always questioned it then. And as the transition to McCarthy got here, they keep the fullback around.
A lot of teams don't anymore.
No,
it's I don't know. The Cowboys keeping one is surprising to me. It's like if they were. To me, if you're the Baltimore Ravens and like running is your identity, it's like, okay, it makes sense.
I think there's the ability to use him in a couple of different positions. And, he's the body type that works well in special teams, and he can catch the ball in the flat, and, he's capable of getting 2 yards through, bulldozing a little bit. I personally would not keep that guy, but it's just part of the Cowboys. They keep a fullback.
Don't you wish you could get a job based on the fact that you can get 2 yards when you need it?
I'll tell you what,
give me that 2 yards, 2 yards per carry.
That's a skill.
Job in the NFL.
There are guys in the NBA that got a job because they make 3 out of 10 jump shots.
Yeah,
it's a skill.
Not a bad one to have. So there you go. There's your look at the. Obviously, there's still 2 weeks of training. There's still injuries to occur. I hate to say it, but they do have a preseason game this weekend. Do the Cowboys, and who's going to play? I'm kind of thinking it might look a lot like last week. It might be another Trey Lance
Oh yeah, it's going to be
feature.
I don't. Why would I play Cooper Rush? I know what I got there.
I think you'll see a little bit of Cooper Rush, and then it'll go because you can't. I mean, I say you can't. They essentially did play him the whole game last week. Like that.
The one thing that would change, I would think, is if I have to give my wide receivers an opportunity to get open and catch a ball.
That's true.
So I might have to play Cooper Rush more than I'm comfortable with, just so I can evaluate my receivers, because Lance isn't giving me the chance. So that might be the one thing that would actually alter the game plan and really kind of affect who's in for what. But other than that, I don't expect a whole lot of the starters for sure, and certainly not the stud guys.
Of the preseason games, these Cowboys at the Raiders tickets are the most desirable tickets of the week.
How much? What do you figure the layout of the stadium's going to look like? How much black? How much blue?
It's funny because Raiders games generally there are like 65-35 Raiders.
I don't think it's going to be that.
I don't think it's going to be that either. It's fun. The Raiders have almost priced out their hardcore fan base.
That's what it felt like, because it was Vegas, they were never going to have a home game. But I did get, I've noticed that there's more silver black in there than I would have expected.
But the rate, like, I think it's a new crowd of Raider fan, because the Raiders for a long time were the cheapest ticket in the NFL. And now they are, I think, the second most expensive behind San Francisco. There might be one more ahead of them, but yeah, they're up there certainly.
Well, when the Cowboys eventually play a regular season game in Las Vegas, there's going to be a lot of blue in there.
Oh, I'm
Lots.
sure. Yeah. The Raiders Cowboys tickets, the cheapest ticket you can get today, get in the door ticket, $96 for a preseason football game. Now, to put that in perspective, if you wanted to go to the Arizona-Indianapolis game today, now this is before fees, so you will have to pay some fees, but you'd have to pay fees on the Cowboys-Raiders game. If you wanted to go to Indianapolis and Arizona to get in the door, $2.14.
I'm about to say, if I'm paying any more than $10, I'm a little upset. There better be a free drink involved.
$2.14. Yeah. Atlanta, Baltimore, you can get in for $4.
I put it to you, they should be free. You should just open the doors and let anybody walk. Why?
They can't do that because when these franchises sell you their season ticket package,
I know. They have to.
You as a season ticket holder pay the same amount for this game as you do for week 12.
But which
is garbage, but that's the way they do it.
If you're gonna do this, you should open it up to the fans that cannot and will not ever pay your regular season price.
I'll tell you this: that some of the there are a couple hot tickets. Cincinnati at Chicago, you can't get in for less than $50. People want to see Caleb Williams.
That's high dollar stuff.
Well, there's a lot of $4. Like the Texans, you can get in the Texans for $4.
As it should be. That should be mandated.
Detroit at Kansas City, $26 to get in. Buffalo at Pittsburgh's $20. And then the Cowboys Raiders. Green Bay at Denver is $33. New Orleans at San Francisco is $21. Every other game is less than $10 to get in.
In San Francisco, a $20 ticket is
that might as well be $5. That's $5 anywhere else. Chargers Rams. You'd think Chargers Rams.
That's a home.
The two home teams. It's like if you're a Rams fan, if you're a Charger, whichever you're a fan of, you can go to this game. $7.40. You can get in the building.
It'll be half full.
$7.40. Yeah, I left Minnesota at Cleveland, $3.73.
Respect, man. I like this. I like hearing this. That's
so. There you go. That's the updated ticketing prices. But I did find it interesting that the Cowboys Raiders ticket is double the next most expensive ticket of the weekend. So part of it is it's the Cowboys. Part of it is it's in Vegas.
Right.
And
the combo, yes.
Yeah. So there's and I'm sure Cowboy fan, if you didn't go to Oxnard, this was your road trip, your preseason road trip.
I can't wait for a regular season game in Vegas.
Do we know when are they due? When's the schedule rotate around to them?
The AFC West? I don't know. It'll be a year or two, I imagine.
Okay.
When it does happen, that whole city's turned silver.
I wish it would have been this year. Would have been good for me. Would have been good for us.
It would have been good.
But That's all right. We'll make the most of it when the time comes. By then, my family will be here all the time, and I'll be like, oh,
I don't want to go.
I need to get to Vegas. Get the hell out of here. All right. 2 hours down, 2 to go on a Friday. When we come back, we'll talk some Dakota Prescott. Later on in the hour, we'll talk about the Eagles-Patriots game from yesterday. It's about this new rule that Major League Baseball is trying to implement about starting pitchers. Plenty more to discuss in Big Ten talk in the last hour. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
Are you the cup is half empty or the cup is half full kind of person? Or are you my cup overflows kind of person? Ben Stein writes, I cannot tell you anything that in a few minutes will tell you how to be rich, but I can tell you how to feel rich, which is far better, let me tell you firsthand, than being rich. Be grateful. It's the only totally reliable get-rich-quick scheme. End of quote. There is more to gratitude than training ourselves to pay attention to what is going right in our lives. Gratitude is the sense of gladness you have that a gift has been given and it must be acknowledged. And that's the challenge, not just to see it, but to acknowledge it. And in so doing, gratitude changes you. One researcher reveals that gratitude expressing people experience higher positive emotions like optimism and enthusiasm while being protected from destructive impulses like resentment and bitterness. So here's the challenge. If you feel grateful, express it. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever. And ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Krispies. They're wild caught, ultra crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. Neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job. That is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at HEB today.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys play their second preseason game tomorrow as they head to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. In the Little League World Series, Bernie, the team from Southwest, crushed the Mid-Atlantic squad while riding an 18-game win streak coming into the game. They shut them down 9-0. Caden Guffey, Doc Mogford, and Cole Newsom all hit home runs. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Wanted to hear from our good friend Dak. We haven't heard from him a lot, other than when he said, "Who are you?" and tried to bully me. I won't be bullied, though, Rob. You know me.
Well,
I refuse to be bullied.
Who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?
Punk-ass Dak trying to punk me out. I won't stand for it. Dak was apparently he doesn't think it's a big deal. He doesn't think any of this is a big deal. He says it's real easy to deal with the quote unquote distractions. There's nothing going on, nothing to see. I just do my job.
I'm blessed to be able to do that, to have a family, girlfriend that takes care of the home, takes care of the business that we need, people in place that takes care of the contract, those talks, those negotiations. And that allowed me to, when I'm here, when I'm in the camp hours, I'm as focused can be on whatever it needs, whether it's the team, the locker room, maybe it's something the coaches need, or it's just me out there on the field trying to become the player that I want to be and continuing to grow and getting better. That I think that's what allows it to be easy for me is I have such good people around me.
Who was it it was a couple weeks ago that was trying to get his deal done and didn't realize that because he's his own agent, he had to actually go in and do something.
Oh, yeah, I know who you were talking about. Panthers? It was a Panther, I think.
God, I don't remember who it was. I mean, you might be right, but I'm trying to think. I can't think of who the player was. Was like, I'm just waiting for my people to make something, and it's like you don't have people.
You
are that person. Then they asked Dak about the kind of what we talked about earlier about why he's feeling so good about the conversations they're having with the Cowboys.
Good conversations are going. I will say that call it negotiations, whatever conversations. A lot of good things are going on there. So a lot of confidence. Once again, I said anytime I feel like I've talked about it, I've got confidence in my guys. These guys getting something done. Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. If you said, I think this is the rare situation where both parties are unsure if they want to be together.
Well, I think Dak's more than happy to be with you if you'll pay him the money. I think, but he's not going to give you a discount.
No. But do you think Dak would be just as happy somewhere else with?
I think yeah.
Does Dak want to get married to a contractor or the Cowboys?
I think he's had 8 years of Cowboys, and I don't think he would look back, sadly. I think he would carry on. You can tell by his attitude. I think he's resigned himself to the fact that no matter what happens, as long as I view this as I'm a lucky man. I've got a woman who takes care of the house. I got a healthy child. I got $70 million in the bank, and I'm about to make $300 million more. It probably won't be here. I think he is right where he should be, right? I mean,
a handful of people bringing up it was Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
that's who it
I'm
was.
looking at it right here as Caleb. Who?
Yeah, good call, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, smart brigade bar.
That's who it was. It was like, yeah, my people are going to take care. And they're like, no, you don't have people. You've got to go in there and do it yourself. Oh.
And then we come to see the contract. I like what you did here.
Let me run this by my people. And then he goes in the bathroom and it's like, okay,
looks good here.
Looks good.
Excellent.
I'll take it. I accept your offer. I asked that because to me, this is almost like a marriage. And if one party would be okay getting married or okay breaking up, like moving on, seeing other people, and the other party feels kind of the same way, getting married is rarely the right answer. You know what I mean?
Unless you're looking for the tax break. I mean, you can get married for financial reasons, and you can have this arranged, fairly platonic, though loving marriage.
Those usually don't end in joy.
No, they don't. But they do sometimes end in happiness. You trade joy for general happiness, and I think
content.
Content, literally.
Yeah.
And we all know people like that. And I think Dak would be content to be a Dallas Cowboy for the rest of his life. But he is never going to give in and take a flyer on, you're going to do the best for me again. And you could tell by the last deal, he had enough. I will never be franchised, and I will never let you just trade my rights. From now on, I am in control. And he's acting like it. I mean, you waited on me before. You pushed it down the road. You waited till I broke my freaking leg before you would pay me.
Yeah.
And now, when I signed that deal, he decided I am taking control. I am going to be the master of my fate. You're not going to franchise me. And that sometimes that's throwing the bathwater out with the baby, because maybe if he'd have gotten hurt in other circumstances, a franchise tag might have been the most appropriate thing for a guy like him. But no. He's gambled on himself, and he's won so far. Why step away when now that the dollar values are doubled? And as he stands, he's got a pretty decent football team.
Yeah. No, you're right. He does have he's in a decent situation, but also with a giant unknown now, because I mean, I'm sure Dak doesn't want to marry the Cowboys if they're saying, we're going to let CeeDee Lamb move on.
There's that,
or we're going to trade CeeDee Lamb.
There is the peace of mind of knowing maybe there's some guys around here that I'd just soon not see again. He might not like Dak or McCarthy's offense in his heart of hearts. He might not appreciate some of these guys, and they very well could be gone because they're all on 1 years as well. There's nobody in a better position in as far as. I mean, there's guys in better positions because they got guaranteed money for the next 8 years.
Trevor Lawrence is in a pretty good position.
But there's nobody in the ill-defined future part of the world that has a better opportunity. I mean, nobody anywhere. I'd say it's, even Burrow doesn't have quite the situation that Dak does, because Dak can pick and choose.
Yeah.
He can pick who he plays for next year.
And that's a situation that quarterbacks rarely find themselves in, because they get to that franchise year and it's like, I mean, it's rare to get paid that kind of money ever. And then generally you don't see high-end quarterbacks hit free agency. Like unrestricted free agency just doesn't happen for top-level quarterbacks.
Who was the NBA player that's coming up on free agency that had never been one? There's one that was coming up that had never had the opportunity. It might have been Dame, when Dame – I forget who it was.
Probably was Dame.
That had never had the opportunity to be wined and dined, to be told how pretty you are, to be taken out on a date, have the door open for you, and order whatever's on the menu, baby. You never, there's a lot of guys that were drafted number one and signed with the same team and have never been told how pretty they are by somebody else.
Yeah.
And I remember with kids that I would bring up in basketball, and they might have signed with a team. They might have already offered their letter of intent, given them their verbal, but they were offered a visit someplace else. I told them 100% of the time, go. Let somebody else tell you how good you are and how much they want you and what your attributes are. let Dak go get dated. I think he's looking forward to being a free agent. I'm tired of Cowboy fan telling me all my problems. Let me go to a town like Las Vegas where they will love everything that I do.
I think back to, and it's a little bit different situation because he was kind of getting pushed out. But when Brett Favre became a free agent, and it was like, you realize, oh, there's teams that want me, and
a lot.
I can be successful with these teams. And dude, you don't think Minnesota fan loved having Brett Favre? You don't think Jet fan loved having Brett Favre for the brief moment
I'm telling you, yes. So I think there's the promise of being a free agent and just going and playing the market and seeing what other people think of me. Because worst case scenario, I just come back home and play for the offer that was, just slightly not what I would have wanted. But we know that's not going to be the case.
He is in a unique position. And he's got all the power.
I'm optimistic
because he's right. Now, the assumption is, like, when you hear these clips, the assumption is he's saying, I'm optimistic, I'm going to get a deal done with the Cowboys. But that's almost like Jerry Jones saying, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
And in what you kind of opened my eyes last week to, maybe he didn't mean what we thought he meant when he said it.
Thing up. That's one of the.
I'm all in on making the Cowboys as profitable as possible, and paying a quarterback $65 million doesn't fit into that.
This is like the college football season that's coming. We have never gone through a situation like this in the NFL. Literally, this is unprecedented, where an MVP caliber player, a playoff caliber team, and a Super Bowl winning coach, they're going into a season without any contractual future.
No net.
Unprecedented. This has never happened before.
Has it ever happened that a team went in with all three quarterbacks on the last year of their deal?
I can't. All of these are just unprecedented. Some of it's by design by the individuals. Dak played his cards perfectly. Some of it was just accidental luck, and some of it was Cowboys' absolute
incompetence
to fall to this.
Yeah, it's what some of it's just wild. That, like, how could this have been? Like, how did you let it get to this? That's crazy. And I think there are people, and this is what's so fascinating about the Dak thing. As many people as will be like, how could you let it get to this? There's probably just as many saying, good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know a lot of Cowboy fans are tired of Dak. It's like, dude, let's try something else.
And it's not an angry goodbye. It's like, you know what? Let's part as friends. This didn't work. You did everything you could. We did all we could. It's just not going to work out.
And, going back to the marriage analogy at the beginning, the cleanest divorces by far are ones amongst poor people. Because and when I say that, it's because what I mean by that, there's no money involved.
Right.
There's nothing to split up.
Yeah, this isn't a long-term commitment, 18 years with a kid. This isn't, I made all this money. Yeah, you're right. We part as friends.
And while these are clearly, Jerry and Dak are clearly not poor people. If this contract runs out, there's no money left to argue about. There's no payout out the door. There's no alimony. There's no child support. It's handshake. You go your way. I go mine. Best of luck making money going forward. Best of luck to you making money going forward. I'll see you when I see you.
And maybe when you go into the Hall of Fame, if you do, you'll wear my helmet.
I mean, so that's why I think Jerry and Dak are both looking at it as like, well, if that's what happens, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what we know. In 2025, Dak Prescott's going to make a whole bunch of money. In 2025, Jerry Jones is going to make a whole bunch of money. And it all boils down to, are they going to do it together?
Right.
And that's the only factor that's still to be determined, right? So I think there really will be no hard feelings either way. And that's why I think when you hear Dak talk, it's like, yeah, man, it's good. It's all good vibes.
All good. I can't imagine it'll be others now. That's how we sit today. And let's see what happens in October when things aren't going well. Let's see if there is, I'm optimistic about the future. Let's just see how this plays, because now there's no safety net. There is no next season. There is no tomorrow. And when you get to those kind of situations, it's different. Then it gets personal. Then, are you giving 100%? Are you protecting me? My own self-worth is at play. You didn't pay there's other things that can happen over the next couple of months. But right now, given the situation, this is as good a situation as far as Dak could be upset. He could be mad every day. I'm here, but I don't want to be. We don't have that. Not yet. We don't have, I'm playing injured with no contract. I don't have that. So we have, this is good, but there's a lot of potential for this to blow up in everybody's face here as the season goes.
Yep. All right. When we come back, there's a new rule that Major League Baseball is considering implementing. Want to discuss that and see what your thoughts are, Rob. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
The Blitz Tour continues. We are out for the third day in a row. The Hunters Extravaganza at Freeman Coliseum. I can't wait for that little rattlesnake action.
Yeah, Joe Reinagle is going to be in the rattlesnake pit. What feels like Dak Prescott has been it. Maybe he's getting closer to getting that contract done. We'll talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Go Runners!
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyer4us.com.
Lowe's knows our great paint savings mean you can get the colors you want at prices you'll love. Right now, get 20% off 1-gallon cans and 5-gallon pails of Valspar Defense paint or Cabot Stain. Shop now because it's the perfect time to maintain your deck and paint your outdoor spaces. Visit us in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/21. Selection varies by location. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns.
That's right.
To turnovers. No! And overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 9, the Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders in their second of 3 preseason games. Pre-game starts at 8 p.m. Presented by AA Best Bell Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Major League Baseball is looking at a rule change. They want starting pitchers to play a bigger role because the way they used to be. When you and I were kids, starting pitchers were what mattered. And
if you didn't make 7 innings, you were a punk.
Well, they want less punks is what Major League Baseball is saying. What they want now, or what they're discussing now, is the idea of requiring starting pitchers to throw at least 6 innings. Now, obviously that sounds absurd on the surface, but there's a few exceptions to the rule. If before that 6-inning minimum was hit, they threw 100 pitches, you can take them out.
All right.
If they've given up 4 or more earned runs, you can take them out.
4?
Yeah.
I might be amenable at 2.
If they're injured.
Oh, yeah.
But if they're injured, they would require an injured list stint.
What?
To avoid manipulation. You can't just go, oh, my arm. I got to sit down. I'll see you in 5 days. Can't do that. So Major League Baseball, they're not, I mean, this is a ways down the road. It's not going to happen immediately, but they would, and because it would obviously take some time to stretch out pitchers and get pitchers used to throwing this many innings again. But it is interesting.
There's things in it I like, but I don't like the enforced aspect of this.
Well, yeah.
You know, but I like the premise. I do.
Now, the main thing this would eliminate, well, there's 2 things that it would eliminate that they have become in vogue in recent years. One of them is the opener. You know, you see some of these guys, some teams now will have a guy pitch
3 innings,
1 or 2 innings, and then they'll go to a guy who they call him like an innings eater. He'll pitch 5 innings, but it'll be the 3rd through the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would go away. And a lot of that is, we see some matchups we like at the top of their order that we want to, and
yes.
we don't.
Why can't I use strategize in the first inning? That's what you're taking away some of the strategy that I would apply certainly in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. You're not letting me do that in the first. I don't like that.
The other thing it would eliminate is a bullpen day, like where you just you piece things together.
Well, those are silly, and no one likes that.
No one likes it, certainly.
Those are silly. I hate those games.
But if you've got a pitcher who threw 100 pitches last game and his shoulder's tired and he needs 1 extra day of rest before he throws, and you don't want to put him on the IL, you're like, okay, well, we'll just get by. We'll throw our bullpen guys.
Okay, you're a sneaky dude. You're a sneaky dude.
Great.
What's the workaround? You always have to look for the unintended consequence that would give the guy who figures it out first gets the benefit. There's something in it. There's something out there that we haven't thought. Funky dude's gonna go, all right, I'm in, but I see the answer, and I don't know what that is. I don't know baseball.
What's the angle?
But there's an angle. Whenever you do this, there's always the unintended. Oh no! And there's something in baseball. If they do this, it will provide an avenue of eased. I don't know, but it's something in there. But as a fan, I like it. I like the idea of. Yeah, get your guys out there for 6 innings. And some days, like a quarterback in the NFL, some days it's just not your day. And some days pitchers are going to get roped. And even Brady threw 3 interceptions in a game. Didn't happen often, and he stayed and played the whole game. He didn't get yanked.
So this year, the year of our Lord 2024, there have been 23 complete games thrown on the season. If you go back to 40 years ago, which would be 1984,
the glory days, as we call them,
the league leader in complete games threw 17. So one guy threw 17. Now when I see,
it's different.
And here's a big difference. The MLB leader in 1984 in complete games was Charlie Huff. You remember Charlie Huff?
Yeah, he wasn't throwing hard.
He was a knuckleballer.
Yeah, he wasn't throwing hard.
Guys now are throwing 102.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't throw complete games when you're throwing 102.
It's a league full of closers.
And we don't want to go back to a league where the average fastball is 92 miles an hour or even worse, 90 miles an hour.
If we went to that, the scores would be 15-10.
Yeah. We don't want that.
Yeah. Well, do we?
No.
Chicks league, they love the long ball.
No, we want shorter games. We want home runs, but we also want a lot of strikeouts. And
the good news is they can apply this to the minors and see if it actually works. But I do think there are some definite benefits to this. Now, the problem will be we're already paying pitchers a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what a consistent 7-inning pitcher would cost.
Yeah. Well, but you can
because
spend a lot
eating 2-3 pitchers. You know what I mean?
You're going to spend a lot less money on your bullpen.
That's what I'm saying. You're eating 2 and 3 pitchers. So what was 3 dudes for $200 million is now 1 dude for $260. You know what I mean? And not a bad thing. I'm just saying how the economics would play into this because suddenly you're not needing nearly as many pitchers.
Yeah. Now on average, you got 5 starting pitchers and you've got probably 7 bullpen guys. My guess is, if this were implemented, it would go
one more starter.
Everybody would carry 6 starters, and they would likely drop it down to 4, maybe 5 bullpen guys.
What's the most difficult thing to find in sports? Is it a starting great quarterback, or is it a consistent 8-inning hard throwing pitcher? Is it? I don't know. It seems to me it might become the consistent 8-inning pitcher.
It might be tougher. Yeah. Is that as valuable? Probably not.
No.
But again, if the rules were implemented, maybe it would be. 2 pitchers all season have thrown more than 1 complete game this season. Kevin Gossman and Max Fried have both thrown 2.
Who was the pitcher that got pulled from a no-hitter in like the 8th or 9th? Wasn't there a pitcher that?
Well, Skeens did once. Yeah.
That would never happen again.
No. No, it probably would happen again.
Yeah, 1 more inning. You're right. That's 7th. You're done.
Or like when we got to pitch you 6.
Yeah,
as soon as you get 6, that's your night.
You're done.
I think, in fact, you'd probably see fewer.
See, there you go. That's one
games.
of the unintended consequences of now we don't have guys that will do the whole thing ever.
Yeah. So you're going to get your 6, but that's all you're going to get.
And so then suddenly your closer, the Aroldis Chapmans of the world, get even more valuable.
Yep.
Interesting.
It is interesting. 2024, the average starting pitcher gets 5 1/3 innings per game, per start.
It would save time. You don't have the pitch and change out. You wouldn't have there's some positives here, but I don't like it's just something about me about
being forced into stuff.
Forced, like we got them. There's so many variables.
I felt that same way when they said after a pitching change, you've got to face 3 batters.
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, that doesn't seem right, but it's I don't even notice it now.
True. I hadn't even considered it. You're right. I do remember the change.
So I at the time I was like, oh, that doesn't seem right because now you can't bring in a lefty to see a lefty.
Yeah, but
so it's like, but
we
I don't
remember
even think
the one
about it.
pitch inning, the one pitch pitcher.
Yeah, I don't even think about it now. So maybe, and you know what? I will say, like, credit to baseball, they have found a way to shave their games down because they were unwatchable. These 5-hour games were unwatchable. So kudos to them for figuring that out.
And they've tried things that haven't worked and weren't afraid to scrap them. So I do give them some credit.
And maybe this won't work.
But
this would be a big move because teams would have to spend an offseason stretching pitchers out, and you'd have to change the way you build your roster.
Interesting.
So I think this would maybe be the biggest rule change from an impact standpoint. Like, this is bigger than the pitch clock.
Oh, by far.
This would be the biggest thing since they said every team has a DH now.
That's kind of where I was going.
Because every team had to go out and say, okay, we got to find another, serviceable bat to keep in our lineup every day. So, I think this would be a major, major change. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about this. I guess we'll talk about this Eagles-Patriots game from yesterday, some of the takeaways from that. And we'll look at some of the NFL that's coming up this weekend. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Well, a gentleman pulled in something more than a fish this week. She brought in a 3-pound bale of marijuana.
Oh, boy. That's a lot of dough.
How do you cut that up? How far will that go?
If he sold 3 pounds to Bobo, he'd still be smoking it in the year 2034.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, you. I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
That's right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice.
Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. What a victory. 14-13. What a game.
What a game.
What a game.
I didn't see, did any Eagle starter play? I didn't see the first quarter.
I can't say for sure on the offensive line. There were probably a couple of defensive guys,
but we didn't see a Jalen. We didn't see AJ Brown.
Nobody that you'd be like, oh, they played a squad of scrubs.
But of their twos that started, did you see that? Obviously, they're going to veil everything. But did the Philadelphia offense look the same? I mean, was there any wrinkle, any difference that you noticed?
They did try the brotherly shove.
Oh, with the wrong dudes,
with Kenny Pickett, and didn't get it. And it's like, yeah, obviously. And I mean,
that's funny.
I'll say this, man. Kenny Pickett wasn't awful yesterday, but he holds the ball for so long. I think he got sacked 4 or 5 times. Tanner McKee actually looked pretty good.
That's the third stringer? I saw McKee play.
I think he's their third, but he started the game.
Oh, then I saw Pickett play that.
Okay. The Patriots played all 4 of their quarterbacks yesterday, although Bailey Zappi didn't get in until the very end and had a chance to go down and win the game. And they snapped the ball 3 feet wide of his feet, and there was a turnover, and that's how the game ended, on that turnover. But we saw some Drake May, saw some flashes from Drake May. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad. A willing runner, ran for a touchdown. Did some good things. Joe Milton is terrible. Joe Milton is not going to be a long-term NFL player. In fact, obviously one of these guys isn't going to make it. So Brissett's going to be the starter week 1. Drake May is certainly going to make the roster. And then it's going to be between Bailey Zappi and Joe Milton for the last spot. I think it has to be Zappi. Joe Milton looked just lost yesterday.
Zappi's from Victoria.
Oh, really?
Went to Victoria. He didn't go to high. He went to the other one and went to.
They've got a Victoria East and a Victoria West,
and ended up at one of the Kentuckys.
Western Kentucky. Yeah.
He can sling it. I think
he's a hilltopper, baby.
He even started a game or two for him before. But going back to Drake May, what highlights I saw. Now I didn't get to see him play, but what they pulled out to show me on ESPN was worthy. He looks like a guy who
looks solid.
Is in the right place at the right time, or at least has progressed his. And Brissett's only going to be starting for a month. You figure?
I don't know.
I
mean,
might keep him on the bench.
Yeah, you don't listen. They're paying Jacoby Brissett very well, and Jacoby Brissett is I think he's gone from being. I always think Jacoby Brissett, if he's your backup quarterback, you're in about as good a shape as you can be.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think he's an elite level backup quarterback.
How long do you wait with a young quarterback? How long do you wait?
To me, this is a tough question because there's two sides to this. If you're a team who's competitive, you want to stay competitive as long as you can.
Right.
The Patriots aren't going to be competitive. That said, do you want your future quarterback, your prize pig, to go out there and just get his ass kicked early on in his career? Is what happened to Bryce Young last year a good thing?
No, it's awful. But there is a cost benefit analysis. At some point, you do got to get in there, and I don't know when that is. And I don't know, and I think a lot of it relies on the neck up kind of stuff. Can you withstand it physically? I'll always pull you if I think you're in danger. If I think it's going to shorten your career, you ain't going to play. But there are some situations that you are probably going to fail at, that I'm going to have to put you in. You're going to have to get into a situation where you're getting blitzed by 3 dudes, and you might get lit up, but you're going to have to at some point go through it. And I'd almost rather you go through it while we're losing. So we're all kind of learning this together. But that's the witchcraft, right? And you got a young new coach with a new quarterback, and you kind of find a way to put him in there without destroying his psycho defenses and growing his skill set. And once you could find the guy that knows that with every player, you've hit the. That's what we're all chasing. And I don't know what the answer is, but what I saw last night showed me that Drake May is going to be, at least he looks like he's in the right place and will be a starting NFL quarterback.
Because I would say that the Patriots are in a similar situation now to what the Panthers were in last year.
Well,
your team's no good. You've got. I don't even consider Brissett a backup quarterback anymore. He's now a bridge quarterback. He's the guy you bring in for a year or two while you try and figure out how you're going to work in your new guy.
Okay, knowing what we know now in Carolina, if you had a Jacoby, would Bryce have played it down?
Because they had Andy Dalton last year, who was essentially that.
Okay.
Andy Dalton is that. I mean, Andy Dalton is a guy you look at as, if he's your backup quarterback, you're in great shape. And Andy Dalton had one start last year.
Well, I think they made a mistake.
I do too. So I think it would behoove the Patriots to let Brissett take some early bullets. And honestly,
would you ever play May in the same game?
Yes.
So you'd bring him in the fourth with mop
up?
Okay.
Okay. Especially once you get non-competitive, like you might as well try him. But I think, like, trying to just throw him out there with with what this roster is, which is, I mean, listen, the fact that they just traded away Matt Judon, who and he has nothing to do with what Drake May would be doing.
They're not in it to win.
The Patriots don't care about winning this year. They are not. They, in fact, I think the Patriots might actively be not trying to win games this year.
Would you be as crazy as starting him and then pulling him? Starting him and you got 16 play. I mean, I've always wondered about that. When you know that I'm trying to grow a quarterback, and the only goal for this season is I want to end the season as healthy as possible in a position to bring in more talent, that I start my quarterback and I strip 16 plays or whatever it might be. And when we're done with that, we're pulling you out. We'll bring in our starter and we'll get back to the game plan.
I don't think that's crazy. My thought is what I might try to do in that situation is find some games on the schedule that makes sense to give him some run. And unfortunately, this is the early schedule for the Patriots is at
brutal.
At Bengals, home Seahawks, at Jets, at 49ers, home Dolphins, home Texans. That's their first 6 weeks.
Everywhere they go, they're the most hated team that team's going to play.
I think there's a stretch where, you play now. If you want to do it early, you might do it against like the Dolphins, Texans, Jags, 3 home games. You certainly can't put him in against the Jets defense. You certainly can't put him against the Niners defense. But it might be after the bye week. which is the Colts game. That is they've got a late bye week. Their bye week is December 8th.
Oh.
So you're talking about week 13. But after that, they're at Arizona. That might be the time to say, okay, you know what, dude, get out there. Let's see what you can do. You're going to be eliminated from playoff contention easily. Go out there and see what you could do against a team like Arizona. Big deal. You're coming off a bye. You've had an extra week to prep. Let's see or maybe try him in that Colts game first. The Colts before the bye week.
That seems like.
And then so you got a taste of it. Now we've got 14 days to make some adjustments. Let's do that. That would make sense to me.
The witchcraft of raising a young quarterback.
It's tough, dude. It really is. Unless somebody just comes in and is awesome, which is so rare. But yeah, you've got to weigh out, like, do we want to get this guy reps or do we want to protect him from the reality of the NFL? And I always think back to David Carr. And if David Carr had not been thrown to the wolves, I don't know if David Carr would have been special, but David Carr would have at least had a serviceable NFL career. He was shell-shocked from the beginning. Like, it was like, this is the NFL, like, where you're playing behind a offensive line full of homeless guys. Like, how is this going to work?
Every quarterback of merit that has come out that has been high draft point, first, second round, that had the opportunity to sit for a year or two. I mean, Jordan
It's a
Love.
benefit, man.
Think about where Jordan Love would have been if they'd have thrown him in immediately. I'd even say Aaron Rodgers when he came out. Think if Aaron had landed in Green Bay and had to play immediately. There was no Brett Favre. I don't think there would be an Aaron Rodgers. I think that he'd have been beaten and out of the league in 2 years.
It certainly seems like a benefit. But then, you know what? If you're great, you're going to be great anyway, because I don't know that anybody got sacked more or threw more interceptions than Peyton Manning did his first year. And he turned out to be, in the discussion for the greatest that's ever played the game. So,
and that's the argument for throw it out and, learn to swim or throw it in the deep end.
But, I tend to lean to the things that, like, Patrick Mahomes didn't play year one. And
there are more instances of that than there are in the fire. Learn while you're doing it.
And now, some places it's like you don't really have a choice.
And that's the difference, right? If you're a team and everyone we said that had the benefit of sitting on the bench landed on pretty good teams. I mean, they didn't get forced into it, and that includes Mahomes.
CJ Stroud didn't have, like, Davis Mills wasn't good enough to be the quarterback. Alex Smith was like a Jacoby Brissett, a very, very capable quarterback, probably better than Brissett. And it allowed the Chiefs to let him marinate, let him learn, let him catch up with the speed of the game, let him see what it's going to be like. And I think that can only be beneficial.
But for every one of those, it doesn't happen often, and we don't bring him up enough. But Dak Prescott was thrown to the wolves. 4th round draft pick, no expectations. Before you know it, he's starting, and he went 13-3. You can engineer a win if you're on a decent team and have a coordinator with. When Kellen Moore, what he did, that was a spectacular season of play calling.
And there's a huge difference between playing on a team that's got a good offensive line and like, now what you would be doing to Drake May is sending him out there naked. This is the worst roster in the NFL, and you would be sending him into like a jousting match with no armor. That doesn't end well. So I just can't imagine that as good as he might look in the preseason, I can't imagine they're going to let him take live bullets right away. It doesn't make sense.
Carolina's going, hold my beer. Worst team in the league. Hold my beer. You want to see bad? We're bad.
The Patriots and the Panthers, both teams are like, if you were to go to Vegas right now and place a bet week by week, both of them are underdogs in all 17 games.
Bereft.
Not one game that those teams are favored. Now, that said, Carolina, and now a lot of this is schedule related. Carolina's schedule is much easier, but Carolina, there are a couple times they're like 1-point dogs. They're like at the Giants, 1-point dog, or home to the Giants, home to the Cardinals. They're a 1-point dog, but the Patriots, most of them are like 5 to 8 point underdogs, and it's like,
what's the eliminator league where you pick
like a survivor
pool. Survivor pool, man. Those are the 2 wild cards, right?
You got to hold on to those. Yeah, keep those teams in your pocket for a rough week, and then just say, yeah, they'll lose. But I think the Patriots are going to be the worst team in the league this year.
Good.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. I could not agree more. Listen, there's teams out there. The Giants might have something to say about it.
Hold my beer.
The Panthers might have something to say about it. You never know. You never know, man. There could always be a quarterback injury, and quarterback injury will take a mediocre team and make them look like the worst team in the world. Ask Arizona last year. Arizona was like, I think once Kyler was out, they were like 1-11, and then when Kyler came back, they won 3 of their last 5 games. And it's like, oh, okay, well maybe they're not all that bad.
Didn't they beat the Cowboys with a backup quarterback, or was Kyler playing?
I think Kyler was playing. But listen, when you've got a decent quarterback, you always have a fighting chance. But I don't know if that's no world for a rookie being on a roster like this. So, and the Patriots, unlike the Eagles, they did play some starters. Like Ramondre Stevenson got some run because the Patriots don't have the luxury of, like, they don't even know who their best players are because they don't really have good players. Kayshon Boutte, the receiver, he actually looks decent. He got targeted, I think, probably the most in the game yesterday. JaMychal Hasty is going to be a receiver for them. I saw Jalen Polk got injured in the game. I don't know what they're going to do for skill position guys, but the fact that I'm saying that speaks more to the fact that they shouldn't be throwing Drake May out. You're invested in that guy. Don't throw him out there. You can't. But we'll see if the Patriots can improve on what I think is the worst team in the league.
Quick fantasy question. Did Stevenson play? And if he didn't, did the running back get the ball? Is that playing any role in that offense?
I mean, I think the running back's going to have to get the ball in this. But yeah, Stevenson did play. He was relatively ineffective.
I mean, I don't know who was blocking for him, but he's a guy that I kind of appreciate as a back that you can find.
I do too. So for him, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be him and Antonio Gibson is gonna be the other guy pushing for carries. Neither one of them looked particular. I mean, like nobody. Now, mind you, the offenses, but both offenses yesterday were pretty dreadful.
Well, yeah, they're playing behind two. So, but Ramondre is one of those fantasy kind of guys that if you're looking for a back and they're starting to run off the board, that'll be productive and one of those that you win leagues with.
But that's why my only wager yesterday was the under in this game. And
has there been a game go over? I don't think there has been.
There's been a couple.
Have there one?
Yeah, there's been a couple. They're few and far between though. They are few, and usually they go over on like the last play of the game. There's a touchdown on the last play of the game. But I was right. I wish I would have bet this too. I said, "Oh, Patriots -3. That doesn't seem right." Sure enough, couldn't even win the game because the Eagles engineered a game-winning drive, and the Patriots, like I said, fumbled away the game late. The schedule for the rest of the week or weekend, I suppose. We've got no games today. We're going to take the day off. Everybody plays on Saturday except for Green Bay at Denver and New Orleans, San Francisco. Those are Sunday games. Cowboys are at the Raiders. It's the late game. It's going to be on NFL Network.
And live right here.
And live right here on San Antonio Sports Star. But we'll actually be able to see them. The national, like the live national games that you'll see this weekend, you're going to see that Cincinnati-Chicago game at noon. You're going to see Detroit at Kansas City is going to be the 3:00 game. Buffalo at Pittsburgh is going to be the 6:00 game. And then Cowboys-Raiders, the nightcap. So, and then you'll see, you'll have options on Sunday. You can either watch Packers-Broncos on NFL Network or Saints-Niners on Fox.
See, I'm not judging the teams. I'm judging the home broadcast crew.
They're bad.
I really, that's really
last
what I
night.
Appreciate.
It was the McCourty brothers and some old white dude. I don't even know who it was. And then they kept throwing to this an awkward studio that I forget what the saying was on the wall, but it was like some advertisement, like for a furniture store. So it was really weird.
Game as play is going on, they're swinging it back to the studio. That's
like instead of going down to the sideline, they're like, let's go back to this other studio and talk to the like. And also what I learned yesterday, I was yesterday years old when I learned that Brian Hoyer is no longer in the NFL. Like if you said, is Brian Hoyer, what team is he playing for? I would have said, oh, I don't know where he's at this year. Oh, he's working the broadcast. He's a studio broadcaster for the Patriots.
Has he ever played for the Patriots? I'm sure he has. He played for a lot of teams.
Yeah, he was a Belichick guy. So yeah, I think he's played. I think he played. If he doesn't hold the record, he's like second on the all-time list of quarterbacks who have started for the most teams. I think he started for 8 NFL teams in his career.
Well, the hometown broadcast crew is the cable access of modern sports. It's a clown show. Every one of these broadcasts, including the Cowboys, we love Mickey and we love all those guys, but it is just not the polished level of the NFL package that we've become used to.
Also, help me out. You've got twin brothers broadcasting the game. At some point, tell me which one is which. I guess maybe if you're a Patriots fan, you can tell them apart. I certainly couldn't, and they never it just said Devin and Jason McCourty. It never put their name over which one was which.
Know.
So
they couldn't.
The broadcast team didn't. They had no idea.
Is that Devin?
I don't know. It's a McCourty brother. All right, we'll be back. Talk some college football on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
A school district teacher sentenced to 9 years in prison for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. You know how this woman got caught? She ordered bone-in wings. Typically, the school district orders boneless wings.
Got a chicken shank.
She might need it where she's going.
She might.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Star.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Lowe's knows our great paint savings mean you can get the colors you want at prices you'll love. Right now, get 20% off 1-gallon cans and 5-gallon pails of Valspar Defense paint or Cabot Stain. Shop now because it's the perfect time to maintain your deck and paint your outdoor spaces. Visit us in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/21. Selection varies by location. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Go Runners!
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys play their second preseason game tomorrow as they head to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. In the Little League World Series, Bernie, the team from Southwest, crushed the Mid-Atlantic squad while riding an 18-game win streak coming into the game. They shut them down 9-0. Caden Guffey, Doc Mogford, and Cole Newsom all hit home runs. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, baby! It's the last hour of the week for me and Rob.
Suckers.
You dummies working your 9 to 5s. We work 9 to 10, and we're out this bitch.
Yeah, but they were fast asleep.
That's the past. Past is the past, Rob.
That's right.
Guess where I'll be in 2 hours? Fast asleep.
Digesting a Benny's
prepping my body and my soul
for the sins to be committed
for Def Leppard. I've got my shirt with it's showing up on one side, and I'm gonna show up with just one arm in. And
holding a drumstick,
carrying my drumstick in the other
teeth.
Yeah.
You know, the show starts at 6.
Well, it's an old person show. You know me, Rob. I don't complain about old people shows. No. I'm here for an old person concert. I'm
AJ wants a sit-down show.
I want a sit-down show.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I bet it does. I want people. So? Yeah. You didn't think it was going to happen at Willie?
No, I was right. You're right.
It was a sit-down show, man.
It was chill. I just think there's a lot of.
I think, dude, I'm in the majority. People like that vibe. Not everybody's like Minix and wants to be up headbanging the whole time. You
think there'll be a pit? I think we'll have some moshes going on during their journey.
Nobody whose body can mosh is going to be at a Def Leppard show. All right, if you're the kind of person who gets that hyped up about Def Leppard, your body isn't built for the mosh pit anymore.
Pour some sugar on me. I'm throwing some elbows, man. I'm getting in there.
What a tune. I hope the gals wear like the clothes that they were wearing when Def Leppard was big.
There's going to be a lot of well made up mid-50s,
like bad makeup, big Dallas hair, like the big, like the Aquanet. Yeah. I just call it Dallas hair, like where it goes up real high and it's just
good Dallas hair.
I just know it as
I married one of them,
hair.
and belly shirts.
Sadly, most of those women look a lot like Steven Tyler now, and
that's the
most
problem.
Of the singers, so they're going to be done up.
We'll see. We'll see. I bet we're gonna see so many stretch marks tonight.
Oh, there's going to be lots of spandex. Woo, boy.
It's going to be on, baby. It's on. You single folks, this is the place to be tonight.
Be some cougars roaming the street.
That's right. That's right. Is
Look
Clay
out.
going?
No, I'm gonna protect him from those animals.
Good call. Good call. He's got a
get eaten
future.
up.
He's got a bright future.
Ooh, boy.
My buddy Matt's here. He's got no future.
There we go.
Might as well go out and get taken home by
Yourself
some
a
wild ass animal.
65-year-old cougar.
And Matt, he's gonna go and literally pour sugar on them. That's
that's to treat the diabetes.
Because their sugar's low. Yeah.
Does your wife ever pour sugar on you?
Only if I've been good.
Yeah. Yeah. Only if I've been good. Yeah.
In an attempt to kill you, I bet.
Yeah.
You're like, my sugar's real high. And she's like, while you're asleep, she's like pouring more on you. Like, I can't wait till this guy's gone.
You know how you just chew when you're asleep and you're waking up? Like, what is this?
It's cane sugar. My wife's been pouring honey in my mouth while I sleep. What's
sleep
happening?
Through something? Did I miss something?
The Big Ten, the new age of the Big Ten is here. Welcome, new Big Ten. USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington come in from the Pac-12. That leaves the Big Ten now at 18 teams, which is really interesting math. The Big Ten, Big 18. Big 18 doesn't roll off the tongue. But it is outside of the SEC by far the best football conference. I mean, there's a power too. I mean, the SEC is still the king to me, but the Big Ten is not far behind. But this is a super deep team where I would expect we're going to see, 10, 11 bowl teams out of this one conference, which is pretty wild to think about. The odds, the Big Ten's been run for a while by two schools, and for the longest time it was run by one school. But now Michigan has, at least temporarily, they caught up with Ohio State. Most people think that that's now going to go to the wayside with Harbaugh leaving and sanctions coming in behind him. But adding in Oregon certainly makes it interesting. I think the demise of Michigan could mean that we see a rise of Penn State. And you know what Penn State's going to do? They're going to be really good right up until the end, and they're going to lose a big game because that's what James Franklin does. And does it masterfully, I might add. I mean, credit where it's due. There's no one better at pretending like they're good and then losing a big game than James Franklin.
I think this is Franklin's chance. Because Ohio State is obviously the best team in the conference right now, just by the 5 stars. I mean, I think
Oregon's in that discussion.
And Oregon is right behind them as we sit. But it's a different style of football than Oregon plays on the regular. If they were playing 2 Big Ten schools this year, I would say, yeah, they might beat them. But again, they're going to have to adjust to the wave-on-wave kind of thing that you have to with better conferences than they were out of the Pac-12. And are they deep enough to withstand it and play the kind of style of football that Iowa and Wisconsin and Nebraska and, the big plodding, slow-down, snow-driven football that has been the quintessential Big Ten kind of game? Can Oregon do it? We'll see. I think there's going to be an adjustment period, and if that's the case, I think it opens the door for Penn State for a year or two, that finally they can get past, after all these years, kind of get past the Ohio State, Michigan stranglehold. This is their chance. And how does USC play into this? And as we watch Nebraska finally get a coach that understands where they are in the world and is recruiting appropriately, I think Matt Rule's a hell of a football coach and is going to do some good things there eventually. So this is a chance for a school that has been a non-entity in the Big Ten to kind of step up. I think that as far as opportunity, there's more opportunity for other schools in the Big Ten than there are in the SEC. The SEC is still on lockdown up at the top.
Let's talk about the odds here. First of all, Northwestern, I don't know if you're familiar with what their stadium situation is. They are redoing their field, the Ryan Field on campus.
Then they play in Chicago.
Yeah. But they are this season going to have a temporary field. And we're talking about they're going to be playing in front of like I don't 15,000 fans, maybe.
Oh man, so this is kind of like the Sacramento AAA baseball team hosting so you can get great seats.
Yes. It is it is going to be, it's weird too because the seats are in the end zones.
Ohio State will be playing in a 10,000 seat stadium on November the 16th.
Yes.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Yes. I imagine those tickets are going to be pretty in demand.
Are you kidding?
But it's basically they had it's a temporary stadium. They had like a golf of the people who build the around greens. Like you got a par 3, they put up those stadium seats.
Stands. Okay.
That's who they brought in to do this thing. And it's weird because most of the seats are in the end zones. So it's open on the side. It's a very unique stadium. It's got a cool view. It's a lakefront view. The Chicago skyline's right there. It looks pretty damn cool. But it's going to be really strange. Northwestern is in I would say transition, but they're back at the bottom of the Big Ten pile. They are 400 to 1 to win the Big Ten. Same odds, mind you, as Purdue. So pretty damn long shots. We don't need to worry about them. I don't think we need to worry about Michigan State or Minnesota either. Michigan State has fallen into a state of disrepair after a terrible coaching hire. Both of those, Minnesota and Michigan State, both 250 to 1. Illinois and Indiana,
both those teams have made some noise recently. Though.
Well, Indiana, remember, they lost their coach. They lost Michael Penix, and now they're back to being a dump. They're both 200 to 1. Then you get into the teams that are probably like bowl caliber teams. UCLA is 150 to 1 to win the Big Ten. I think it's going to be tough, but UCLA's got some decent talent, but they have got the toughest travel schedule in the country this year. And you knew these Pacific schools were going to have a hard time with the travel, but UCLA in particular, they already had a game scheduled at Hawaii. They're going to spend the UCLA based on air miles. Their road games, they've got 6 road games. Their round trip going to go 22,000 miles for their 6 road games.
They're playing at LSU, at Penn State. That's brutal, man.
And now when you think about that, they're going to travel 89% of the Earth's circumference in in road games this year. 22,000 miles.
Do the players get to keep their points?
Because they're probably flying charter, so I would guess not.
Are they flying charter?
At UCLA, I would guess.
I don't know. They might have before when they were just jetting off once a week, but now when you got 4 teams jetting off to play in the Big Ten on a weekend, you got volleyball going one way, you got your whatever other fall random sports going another way, your football team's going. Man, I don't know if you could afford to have a charter.
Well, I mean, maybe the volleyball players get to keep their miles.
Well, I'm just curious on that flight to Hawaii. Am I getting to keep my points? I don't know, given the modern NIL.
I don't know either. Rutgers is 120 to 1. So is Maryland. Maryland was solid the last couple of years. After this, I think we get into the.
Did Tua's brother graduate? Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. We get into the real contenders here. I say that Washington's still 100 to 1. You can get them at 100 to 1. They lose Kalen DeBoer. It'll be a rebuild for them. Nebraska and Wisconsin, both 50-1.
One of them is going to be good. One of those teams is going to be a bowl team.
I think both of them will be bowl teams.
I mean, a good bowl team, a past Christmas Day bowl.
And I think both of them benefit from the bust up of the East versus West thing, because now, like, whoever won the Big Ten West, you knew what you were. You were a lamb to slaughter. Now, if your schedule breaks right, you can still be, it could be easier for you to. It could be two teams that were former West teams playing each other, because if those East teams sort of ravage each other, maybe you luck out in a year. Iowa is 40-1.
Can they score at all? If they could score a point,
no. USC is 20-1. Can they stop points from being scored? The answer is probably not. Here are your teams that are sub 10-1. And all these numbers are courtesy of FanDuel, by the way. Michigan is plus 850. I've got no interest in them. I think that they're going to be I don't think they're going to finish in the top 25. They're a preseason top 10 team. They're a defending national champion. Their offseason could not have gone worse. They lost their coach. They lost their quarterback. They lost their running back. They lost the core of their team that was so great. And now they've got an inexperienced head coach and a bunch of sanctions hanging over their heads. I don't think they're going to do much. Penn State's plus 450. It's so difficult to trust them because they have a coach who historically chokes. And that leaves you with Oregon and Ohio State. Oregon is plus 220. Ohio State plus 150. So the odds are close on these teams. I think at the price, I would rather have Oregon. I would rather take the better number on Oregon, because I think these teams are even. And Ohio State announced that Will Howard is going to be their quarterback. Ohio State struggled with quarterback play last year.
Yeah, but they're chock full of talent. You're higher on Oregon than I am.
I like what Oregon's doing, man. I like that they've got a Oregon feels like they were prepared for the move, and
as much as they could be.
Dan Lanning seems like a guy who understands what it takes, and he seems. I mean, recruits seem to love Dan Lanning.
He's got a quarterback. That offense moves the ball. There's every reason to expect, but man, oh man, it's going from a bad Pac-12 where you got off days. I mean, you got a Berkeley and you got a Stanford and you got an Oregon State. You got some off weeks, and that is just not coming anymore. And then you combine 1 week after another, getting on a plane on Friday and flying into a blizzard. I mean, I think they've certainly got the talent, but I'm looking at November the 2nd when they roll into Michigan. Let's see how they are, because they better beat the pants off Michigan.
Well, listen, Dylan Gabriel is the second favorite to win the Heisman Trophy.
And if he's headed that way, they will. I just think that it's not, they've got as much talent as anybody else, but the unfamiliar confines. And then you talk about a speed offense like they play. And you know what the Big Ten does. Most of those teams play on grass and they just mow the lawn that week. So you don't even see your cleats when you show up to try to run fast. So there's those little things that I think Oregon's going to run into, that it's just a depth issue and a repetitive issue that they're just not used to yet.
And to me, the biggest thing I like about Oregon over Ohio State is when these two teams play head-to-head, October 12th, it's at Autzen Stadium in Oregon. So the fact that they've got home field advantage in the game, I mean, these are clearly the two best teams in the Big Ten.
And that's going to be the biggest thing to ever hit University of Oregon. It's going to be the biggest game ever played there. And if they can measure up to the hype, game day is going to be there. You know that every football mind and head is going to be there because it's the first time this has happened. If they can survive it, then maybe. But we'll see.
I think it was it 2015-ish, I think. I might be wrong. Oregon played in the national title game.
Yeah.
And that year,
that was Mariota's year.
Yeah, they had USC come to town late in the season, and that they had to win that game to go to the title game. But I don't know.
I'm talking about the Ohio State fan rolling in to Corvallis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something the likes of which we've never
it's
seen
unprecedented,
before.
man.
And again, as a college football fan, on October the 12th, I get a Rose Bowl. That's a Rose Bowl game, and I get it in October. This season's going to be unbelievable. Every weekend you go, well, I'm not used to seeing that till January the 1st.
And if you remember when Oregon played for the national title game or played in the national title game and they lost, that was to Ohio State. Cardale Jones.
That we get on the regular in October. Now, it'll become de rigueur and an everyday thing, but right now,
it's badass.
It is a bowl game every week.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited for Big Ten football. I'm excited for SEC football.
I got something that might depress you about football. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. I just found this. Just saw this.
What?
I didn't even know that this was even a thing.
Why the hell would you do that?
I'm not trying to bring you down because it's something I like.
All right. Well, we'll let Rod take the air out of my balloon.
No. We'll just see where you stand on it.
And I've got some non-sports stuff coming up, and then the Daily Lines at 9:30 will do as well. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You guys better be loaded up and headed over to Tri-County right now because the sales are on, and when the meat is gone, they're going to have to go get some more, and you'll be stuck in the middle. Head over to Tri-County today. It's a good grilling weekend coming around the bend. The sun's going to be out. You might as well have a fire in front of you. A great meal starts with a great meat there. And, if you're looking for a steak, no matter the cut, no matter the thickness, they got it. And if you're looking for prepared food to make it easier on you, they got that too. You're looking for an extra rub, something new to spice up the meat you've got, they've got that too. And if you're looking to save somebody, the specials are always there. The 5 for $25, I'll say it again, is the best deal in San Antonio. Grab 5 items. That includes meats and everything that go along in a meal. I promise you, there's 2 meals in a bag. $25. Can't beat it. Tri-County Meat Mart's got 2 locations. Huebner Road, just a little bit east of I-10. Ralph Fair, just a couple of miles further north out there on 10. They've got everything waiting for you. Don't leave the store without getting on their email list. That way you know the specials that are coming. That's Tri-County Meat Market, curated the finest meat markets in all of San Antonio. Go there today to prove it to yourself, and once you leave with a bag full of meat, I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
The Blitz Tour continues. We are out for the 3rd day in a row. The Hunters Extravaganza at Freeman Coliseum. I can't wait for that little rattlesnake action.
Yeah, Joe Reinagel's going to be in the rattlesnake pit. What feels like Dak Prescott has been it. Maybe he's getting closer to getting that contract done. We'll talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic. He joins at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back. The 2024 Hunters Extravaganza. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Fun for the whole family. Check out our hunting seminars, the latest in hunting equipment, last season's best bucks in our annual deer contest, and for the little hunters, games, live alligators, snakes, and more. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. For details and tickets, go to huntersextravaganza.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Lone Star Transfer. If you felt like booking your timeshare was difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible over the last few years. With an A+ rating at the BBB, our clients know Lone Star Transfer is the only company they can trust. We guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Call us today to receive a free, no obligation consultation at 833-594-0077 or online at lonestartransfer.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators. Like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle, 94.1. San Antonio sports star Rob said before the break he's going to let the air out of my balloon.
Actually, it shouldn't. This should enthuse you if you're a college football fan.
Give it to me.
As we head into the first year of our 12-team playoff, a couple things that go into this. First of all, they voted that one of the tiebreakers, in the past is if you won a conference title, that gave you a little bit more preference. That's no longer the case. Conference title will not be a tiebreaker to get into the 12. They figure there's already space for the 5 conference champions, so there's no need to have a tiebreaker there, which makes perfect sense. But in the meantime, as we send these next 12, there's an opportunity that I think that to offer of the group of 5, the others, plus some, to have their own individual tournament. You might not ever, if you're with like Sam Houston State
or UTSA,
give the ones that are in, not Sam Houston State, they've got their opportunity.
Yeah, that's a different division.
But the UTSAs of the world, that it's gonna be hard to ever get, even if it's a conference champion, to be that they have another sidebar tournament. And now it won't be the best of the best, and you would be in fact be considered like the NIT champion, the other, but it would give you some more football. And is that what we're all not chasing?
I'm not opposed to that. Here's what, we're at an era now where I wish we could do it like this. If this is really going to be the Power 4, which it's not really, it's a Power 2, and then there's the other 2, and then there's the rest. But I always said, why, if we're going to expand the playoffs, why not have 8 teams from the power conferences? You never invite a Boise or any of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And let those other teams play for their own title. Let there be a like.
But but once you do that, you become a secondary citizen.
You are.
But
they are. UTSA is never going to be Texas.
But there is the opportunity to maybe to aspire to it. Like, once you have this secondary tournament, aren't you always going to be relegated to a mid-major?
Rob,
you're always going to be Akron. I'm not saying that you're not.
Look at me. I want to be a fashion model.
Yes, but
what's holding me back?
You might not.
I don't know. Reality.
Well, maybe you'll age into it. Maybe in 10 years, as you practice your modelness, you might get a chance. I
want to aspire to it. No,
I can tell you this: that right now, as the NIT in basketball, there are coaches that look at the NIT and say, "I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Even if we win, we're the 65th best team in the country. Why would I waste my time with that?" And last year, there were teams that said, "Nope, thanks, but no thanks."
But the G5 teams would never say that.
I think you're right. I think there is a place for it, though. I will say this: no one will watch. If you think that you're going to do this and sign kind of big football deal, if you're playing on Wednesday nights in December, maybe we'll watch.
That's when I'm watching you.
Well, that's the only place I would, right?
Yeah, once you throw all these bowl games out, I'd barely watch bowl games, but I'll barely watch a bowl game between Wisconsin and Kentucky.
You know what? You just answered my question. That's the fill. That's what this fills. Those, the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl now becomes a playoff game for the group of 5.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now this is something that actually works.
But yeah, I love G5 football in season or a Wednesday night. I love me some action. I'm all about it.
Speaking of, MAC Commissioner John Steinbecker added that the discussion regarding NITS championship relates to the desire to create more interest and revenue for the G5 teams. It makes them money, so let them go do it.
Do it, baby, do it. But I don't want to watch it.
See, there we go. I mean, everybody that's like, it's too easy to make the playoff. What are you talking about? We got 6 playoff games where nothing like this ever existed before.
I got news. Like, if you tell me on a Tuesday night there's one football game on and it's Rice versus Texas State, I'm watching the hell out of that.
As a playoff game, winner moves on. Yeah.
Now you tell me. No, I'm talking about it's not a playoff game. I'm talking about as a November, an October Tuesday game.
No,
I'm watching that.
By that point, I'm kind of footballed out, and I take a break on that. You know what I mean?
Not me. I don't get footballed out. But in December, on a Saturday when there's other team, like real teams playing.
UTSA Western Kentucky in a playoff. No,
I ain't watching that. If you're gonna be, you better be the only show on if you want to catch my attention. Big boy football better be all the way out of the way, and that might be the way to do it. Once the national title game is played, you have your group of 5 tournament start up. And that's so like, okay, congratulations.
So they go away till January.
Yeah.
Come back. You can play your playoff till March Madness starts.
It's like, congratulations. Our national champion is it's LSU. All right. Here's your trophy. Woo, woo.
Next up.
All right. Texas State
versus Akron.
Akron. You guys beat the hell. And you know what? I would watch it. I would watch it because what else is on?
Basketball. I'd be long gone.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I'd be
watch
long
that
gone.
football. I'd watch the hell out of that football. But that's just me. Regular season basketball is it's a kick in the balls to watch every day. I don't know. I don't get tired of regular season football the way I do other sports.
There's less games.
There's not enough.
Yeah, there's not enough football.
Well, you're about to get as much football as you can consume. We're not to maximum density, but we're getting really close.
About 50 games into the college or into basketball season, the NBA season, I'm like, is this thing still going? If I'm 50 games into the NBA season, the team that I'm covering better be contending.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you this now: if the Spurs are 15-35 when they hit the 50 game mark, I'm not going to
check it out.
I don't give a damn. Now, if you tell me you're 25-25 this year, I'm going to give them a pass. I'm going to say, you know what? You're a 500 team. I'm interested.
Well, what if they're 15-35 and going, we're tanking for Cooper Flag?
I don't want to hear about it. I just tell me they lost. Tell me the next day that they lost. Now, if they're 30-20, I'll be glued to the TV. But I don't want to watch bad basketball for 82 games. It's too many.
It's like
bad football I can watch for 17.
See, basketball like sex and pizza, even when it's bad.
That's not true.
Still pretty good.
That's not true. God, I watch so much college basketball and I hate it. I hate it.
then you're doing it wrong.
No, because
everybody loves free throws and stop clock in the game. But you don't like that?
I don't. And I watch so much because I bet on it. And it's like, to me, it's the easiest sport to bet on. It's my most profitable sport to bet on. And I force myself to watch it, but it's just painful to watch. Well, it's like you with the ladies basketball. It's your best sport to bet on.
And yet I bet.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it. You just want it to happen and be done. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk some ladies basketball. We're going to talk some football. We're going to talk some baseball. We're going to talk all of it. We're going to talk some UFC 305 because it is going to be the daily lines coming up. Take a look at what we can make money on this weekend right here on the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM. If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
The Olympic pole vaulter.
Dude, I'm just going to applaud. Congratulations. What a great story. I mean, you tell your kids that story?
The commercials that he is going to get.
Like Trojan, Max?
Could be Trojan. Could
How
be
about
Max.
a glad bag?
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What is GMTVCC? That's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Football season is finally here, friends, and it's time to jump into the Prize Picks play. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Heck, there's over 5 million active users. I'm one of them. You should jump in today. Use your fantasy knowledge to go win some serious money. Know your players' stats. You've been playing them before. Put them to work. Is Zeke going to get 90 yards? Is Stephon Diggs going to get over 100? Play your game. Pick your more. Pick your less, but go pick them. That's Prize Picks. Go play them today. It's easy. Use the code Alamo. Download the app, and you've got $100 just waiting for you. That's code Alamo on the Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Head over to Prize Picks right now and use that knowledge. If it's football season, Prize Picks is the place to be. It's the best way to win real money this football season. It's Prize Picks. Go download it today. Alamo for $100. There's money waiting on it. Use your knowledge. Go win some more with the code Alamo and Prize Picks. And tell them Rob sent you.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Reinagle from The Blitz. I cannot tell you how happy I am with my brand new Connecticut quality water softener. Had it in my house now for about 2 weeks, and the difference it is making is just unbelievable. You know, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and you live in San Antonio in South Texas, a water softener, it's a must. And Connecticut is the absolute best, up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Simple design, fewer moving parts, and in fact, you don't plug it in. No plug-in at all. It does not run on electricity. It only works when you need it to work. And right now, if you've been thinking about a Connecticut quality water softener in your home, Connecticut is going to let you try one for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. All you have to do is give them a call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
Hey, you. I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 9, the Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders in their second of 3 preseason games. Pregame starts at 8 p.m. Presented by AA Best Bell Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A couple non-sports stories for you. Some cops in Alaska are in trouble. 2 Alaska state troopers. There was a warrant out for a fella named Garrett Tika. He was supposed to do a 10-day sentence for driving with a revoked license, which doesn't seem like a big deal. Yeah. But there was a call about a man camping, like sleeping in his car in a place in a dog park where he shouldn't have been. So the cops, they find out this vehicle is associated with this Garrett Tika, and they go out there and they say, "Hey, you got a warrant, get out of the car." And he says, "Dude, I don't have a warrant." And they bust out the window with a baton, spray pepper spray in the vehicle. He gets out, and they proceed to beat his ass. They kicked him in the shin, punched him in the back of the head or neck, stepped on his head, repeatedly used a stun gun on him. As another trooper who was not charged tried to handcuff him. At one point, one of the officers accidentally stunned the other officer as he was lying down with his hands behind his back. He was repeatedly bitten by a police dog. This sounds terrible, right? What makes it worse is it was the wrong guy.
That's a bad day.
This guy didn't do anything wrong. He was the guy's cousin. And yeah, these guys, I got a feeling some bad things are. First of all, the cops are suspended for now as they're dealing with their charges. The dog has been taken out of service. They fired the police dog. He's only doing what he's told to do.
Come on. The guy had some chopped liver in his pocket.
Well, when they said they asked him why he used the police dog on him, the officer said, "Was he throwing punches or anything like that? No. However, he was still resistant. He was super pissed when he got out of the vehicle." Well, yeah, you sprayed pepper spray in his car while he was sleeping.
And I'm the wrong guy.
I'd be super pissed too. Make your dog bite me. Elsewhere in the world, boy, women are crazy, aren't they?
Well,
let's just face all of them.
Yes, sir.
All of them. You can't trust them. You just can't. Minnesota woman was on the way to couples therapy with her boyfriend, and they got into a little bit of an argument and said, "You know what? Forget therapy. The guy says, I don't think this is going to work. Just take me home. Let's end it now. Let's not go pay for more therapy. I think this relationship is done."
Mm-hmm.
Instead of taking him home, she stopped the car in the middle of the road and said,
"Get out.
Get the hell out of the car." Okay. He gets out of the car.
At least she stopped.
Yeah. And as he's walking over to the sidewalk, they locked eyes. She accelerated and ran his ass over. He rolled over the hood, smashed into the windshield, shattering it. The defendant admitted that as she was pulling away, she hit the victim with her vehicle. She says she slowed down and stopped to call the police.
Make sure he was okay.
The defendant said she was in shock at hitting the victim, so she did not stop right away, but let off the gas. So she didn't hit the brakes. She just
a little thing
drove slower. Now she says the windshield crack was not caused by his body, but by him punching it
as he flew into it.
Yeah. They had been dating for a year and they lived together.
Did they get back together?
There's no word on the state of the relationship, but it does have a picture of the gal. That looks like the kind of gal that you
some crazy eyes.
You can't trust her. You cannot trust her.
She took him out. Get out.
I love
get on out of the car. Get up in front of me.
I love how his statement is that she locked eyes with him and then ran him over. Like, oh yeah, you think we ought to break up, huh? Boom.
You get on out there and get in front of the car.
Yeah, I'll take you home. All right. All right. Let's take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I waited on my WNBA theory because it was way off. The three favorites all dominated yesterday. The teams that had good players, the teams that had players in Paris, they rolled. The Mercury beat the Sky by 20. The Lynx beat the Mystics by 11. And the Liberty beat the LA Sparks 103-68.
Busting the clock, baby.
103-68. Give me a break, Bubba. Yeah, so there's ass kickings going on. Now the question is that going to continue? Do we want to go to where we're riding these teams that are coming back from France? Or is that the
It appears to me that those that weren't in the Olympics went on spring break.
Okay.
I think they might have to sweat out a little bit.
Well, the Seattle Storm and the Atlanta Dream play. I think both those teams kind of suck.
Yeah, I don't like this one, but the Dream are worse than the Storm.
Yeah, the Storm are 7.5-point favorites at Atlanta. The Phoenix Mercury,
here we go,
4-point dogs at the Fever.
Phoenix Mercury chock full of Olympians.
They've got some Olympians, and the Fever have none.
I don't get that one. I love it.
You like the Mercury?
Yes.
Let's take the points then, dude.
Yes.
Everybody's itching. Gotta bet Caitlin Clark. Gotta bet Caitlin. Gotta bet her. All right.
This is easy.
You want to bet her? You bet her. I'm fading Caitlin tonight. I think Caitlin, I don't know what she got into. I'm guessing she was doing woman stuff, probably watching a bunch of Lifetime movies.
Shopping.
Online shopping, eating bonbons.
That's what she was doing.
Oh, she's going to, I don't know. She might have had her lady time and eaten a whole tub of ice cream. I don't know. That could have happened.
Watching Simone, watching Biles perform.
That's what they do, man. They sit around and watch the Olympics and eat chips.
That's what I did.
That's exactly.
I don't blame her.
That's what we all did. If you're not an Olympian, that's what you do. And Caitlin, she's not an Olympian.
No.
I bet she's going to come out. She's going to look like James Harden on day one of training camp. Just like
in her fat suit.
Yeah. And be like, is that really Caitlin? Or is that Australian gal from Pitch Perfect?
It looks like she took a week off.
Is that pre-Ozempic Kelly Clarkson? My God.
Did she carry a note?
So I'm going Mercury +4.
I like it.
Now cue someone on the brigade bar calling me a woman hater. That's I'm just saying. I think that's what not just women. I think that's what the men who didn't play in the Olympics, if they were playing basketball right now, that's what they would do too. See, so don't be a hater. If you're thinking about hating, don't do it. Okay, we talked the other day, Rob, I want to say it was last week. I said, I'm making a bet on Major League Baseball.
Yes, you did. The
on an award, on the Rookie of the Year. I said, I believe that Paul Skeens is not going to win Rookie of the Year.
And I said, you're
said-
talking about the starting pitcher in the All-Star game.
Yes.
You're talking about the next Nolan Ryan.
Yes.
You're talking about the guy that's dating the girl that has 1 million followers on Instagram.
Correct.
And he ain't going to win it to some dude named what?
Jackson Merrill.
Jackson.
And
Is there an X in that?
I bet on Jackson Merrill at 4-1.
What's he at now?
Plus 140. Paul Skeens, who was at minus 800, is now minus 180. I think
Still favorite.
But dude, I've got a good ticket here now.
I think you might.
I got a live ticket.
But when push comes to shove, I mean, he's the rookie. He's the dude. I mean, whether they shut him down or not. Now the problem is he might lose a few between here and then suddenly he's back to earth. But I think you're right. They're going to shut him down.
And Jackson Merrill's going to make the playoffs probably with the Padres. They're playing good ball.
But that doesn't matter. Playoffs doesn't matter. Votes are in before that.
No, but I'm just saying he's going to be on a playoff team.
I agree. I think you might have found somebody, but if I had pulled on Skeens, I'd still be happy with it.
Okay. Well, you certainly wouldn't want to bet Skeens at minus 800 when he's minus 180
I'd have had
now.
$1 million on him.
Yeah, you could have had that.
I could have won 50,000 pesos.
All right, let's get into today's games because it's a very special day.
It's time.
It's a very special day, ladies and gentlemen. First, though, there's a day game. The Blue Jays are at the Cubs. Day game at Wrigley. Yadiel Rodriguez going for the Blue Jays. Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs. Minus 115, the Cubs favored at home in Wrigley. But the big event of the day.
Where are we playing?
Nationals at the Phillies, and it's Patrick Corbin Day, everybody. All right. What does that mean?
And the Phillies are hot.
We're betting against Patrick Corbin. We do this every Patrick Corbin Day. The Philadelphia Phillies are minus 270 favorites against Patrick Corbin and the Nationals. And it just so happens the Phillies are throwing Aaron Nola, one of their best pitchers. So you could bet if you say, oh, minus 270, I don't want to bet that. I don't want to bet 270 to win 100. Okay. You can bet 130 to win 100 that they're going to win by more than one run. And generally, Patrick Corbin Day results in blowouts. So I feel good about that. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, the minus 1.5, play the run line, and call it a day. But when I call it a day, I'm going to call it Patrick Corbin Day is what I'm going to do. So happy Patrick Corbin Day to those of us who celebrate, and may the Patrick Corbin gods be with you. Michael Lorenzen goes for the Royals. They are at Cincinnati. Nick Martinez going for the Redlegs. Logan Gilbert takes the mound for the Mariners against Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I got to be honest. Mariners got one hit yesterday. They're scuffling offensively more so than usual. And now they got to see Paul Skeens. Ooh, I might just like the under here. Under 7, minus 120. Gilbert's really good. The Pirates haven't hit in a couple weeks. I would imagine this is a pitcher's duel. So under 7 may be the play here on Mariners Pirates. Garrett Cole goes for the New York Yankees, minus 190 at the Tigers, who don't have an announced pitcher yet, +1, or a confirmed announced pitcher yet. They're plus 160. Ryan Nelson going for the Diamondbacks. Ryan Pepiot going for the Rays. That is a pick-em matchup. Boston sends Cooper Criswell, definitely a made-up person. He's going against Baltimore in Baltimore. Corbin Burns going for the Orioles. Baltimore, a huge favorite, 2-1 favorite over with Corbin Burns pitching for the Orioles. That makes sense, especially against a made-up person like Cooper Criswell. Roddery, our boy Roddery Munoz going for the Marlins. They're at Sean Manaea in the Mets. Mets minus 240. No respect given to Roddery. That's because he's not very good. So fire away, friends. Fire away. The Minnesota Twins Simeon Woods Richardson.
That's made up.
That is certainly a made-up name.
Woods Richardson. That's a law firm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Goes up against Andrew Haney and the Rangers. Rangers minus 122. Although I don't know that I want to bet on the Rangers right now as they continue their spiral down the toilet. After their World Series season, they're following it up with a complete and total dud. All right. The Houston Astros host the Chicago White Sox. This is interesting. The White Sox are sending Garrett Crochet to the mound. The Astros, Arrighetti, Spencer Arrighetti, gonna go for the Astros tonight. They got a pitch a meatball at you.
He needs some White Sox.
Arrighetti minus 218. Do you want to bet the bigger money on the Arrighetti, or do you want to take the gooder pitcher on the better team of the White Sox?
I take the gooder pitcher on the bad team.
But the White Sox never win.
I know. What's the line?
The White Sox, they'll pay out plus 180. Almost 2-1.
Almost 2-1.
Is it enough for you to?
Not.
The Astros are on fire too, man.
And they're at home, and they're watching the Seattle start to stumble, and the Rangers are stumbling. Every game matters here. Yeah, they're going to make some distance.
I think this is another game. You look at the under. The total in this game is 8. The White Sox can't hit. Garrett Crochet, very difficult to hit off of. So I think the Astros win, but I think it's like a 3-1 type of game. The Brew Crew sends Aaron Savale to the hill. Gavin Williams going for the Major League Baseball best Cleveland Guardians. The Guards minus 115 on the road. The Dodgers de Los Angeles, no announced pitcher. They're going up against Miles Michaelis and the Cardinals. Dodgers minus 135.
Hot as fire, man.
Padres, Matt Waldron at Cal Quantrill, and the Braves are at the Angels. Israel Adesanya takes on Dricus du Plessis this weekend
Israel
in UFC.
Gonna do it?
I like Izzy minus 105. I think there's people have forgotten, man, how good this guy can be, and it's going to be a blood war, baby. Yeah. All right, we'll be back on Monday. Enjoy the games. Cowboys at 9 tomorrow. San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
With the Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Injuries along the offensive and defensive